to you, this might be a bit rough. I should have known, I should have seen. That look in your eyes is not letting me in. I can't believe this body's fine. I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense. This was not how I saw the end. But I keep on breathing, heart is beating. I'm waiting for the eclipse and the consequences of it. Why do we keep falling down? When it's always the affected ground. We got time to make this right, but it's all we keep falling down. Do you remember our first touch? When I look at you now, an adrenaline rush. We're always looking for something more. We're closer to the edge than ever before. I can't believe this body's mine.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with an impromptu, slightly planned Sunday live stream. And look, the tagline here is if you got cruise questions, I got cruise answers. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to answer a question that I saw in the pre-chat. This one comes from Christina Shepard. Question: we're going to Alaska out of Seattle in May. We will be traveling by train over the entire country. So how do we get tested beforehand? How are we supposed to test while en route? Well, I'm assuming you're taking a train across the United States if you're going to Seattle, but this could be applicable to Canada, or part of it could. Seattle does have testing at the airport. It's kind of expensive, but you can get a same-day antigen or PCR test, and it ranges anywhere. I believe the antigen was $150 and the PCR test maybe $250. That could have changed. That would have been a while. But if you're in the United States and if you have an internet connection, you can also use the eMed proctored home test to take your cruise or take your test while en route to your cruise. And yeah, all you need is your smartphone and one of those test kits, and you just sign up and they'll do the test for you no matter where you're at. We've used it in a hotel, we've used it here, there, and everywhere. So those are a couple options. And then you could try some local clinics, that kind of thing, local, Minute Clinic, that kind of thing in Seattle. But anybody in Seattle know any good same-day testing? If you could drop that. But there's a couple answers to the cruise questions. But again, happy Sunday. It is the 20th of March, 2022. And I do have a few things on the agenda that I want to talk about. First and foremost, I experimented a little bit with a faceless video today. I appreciate everybody that said they missed my face. But I'm trying to come up with something that I can do in advance, that I can have prepared in advance. And the CDC numbers, the tracking numbers, they do post those every week, and I can do that earlier in the week and post it on Sunday, and I think it would be just as timely. And actually, I don't even have to be the presenter. Jenny could present that information, or we could have a stranger present that information, but I thought the information was good. The thing that I did not like about that video when I watched it back, or after I've watched it a couple times, is I don't really contextualize what it means when a cruise ship is under investigation, that kind of thing. People are asking, should they be worried? Certainly, I can't tell anybody whether or not to be worried about this virus, but what I can say about the investigation and the process that the CDC has is this is the process they've been using for quite a while when it comes to allowing cruise ships to cruise or not. And so, yeah, this is what, this isn't brand new. The whole point of that video is just for people that want to keep up with which cruise ships have cases, which cruise ships are under investigation. And fortunately, we'll be able to do this week over week, and we'll be able to trend, right? We'll be able to say, okay, there's less ships this week, or there's more ships this week. I did this many months ago, and there was a time where every cruise ship that was sailing with passengers out of the U.S., had cases on board. So all 100, cruise ships. And so this is certainly a decrease in that. So I think that that is good. There's a lot going on in the world with the virus. Maybe we're seeing another variant coming our way. And so I thought it'd be cool to have a database show where we could look in every week and kind of see what's going on with cruising. And I will try to do better contextualizing what that means going forward. But thanks everybody for all the good feedback on that show today. This is a question and answer show for sure. If you have a question, do it just like Christina Shepard did. Type the word question in front of your question and then kind of be looking out for when I'm looking over there. That way you'll have a better chance of me seeing it. Obviously, we won't get to every question today. Don't know how long the stream's going to be. And so if your question does not get answered, maybe try to leave it in the comments and we'll do our best to get to it. Big shout out to the Blue Crew. Those are the admins in the room today, keeping everything copacetic, keeping all of the ne'er-do-wells down, ne'er-do-welled out. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, I'm scrolling. I'm at the bottom. Hit me with your questions. Wonderful Adventures. Any more info on the NCL Escape? We have a gentleman that's on the NCL Escape in the La Lido Loca cruising community Facebook group. If you are there, go check that out. He chronicled his whole journey, and man, it was a journey. It took a couple days before he actually got on a flight. There was some false starts. There was some trepidation. It sounded pretty rough. The NCL Escape ran aground earlier in the week. Then upon inspection, they decided not to move the NCL Escape out of Puerto Plata to get their passengers home. They decided to send them home by chartered airplane. It's a little bit of a mess. And so I think most of the people are getting home, but I don't think it was as easy as they probably would have wanted it to be. And then there's some people that struggled because they got flown to Florida and they still had to rearrange their flights and possibly have other hotel accommodations, that kind of thing. It's one of those cautionary tales for a couple things. The cautionary tale is make sure you have a passport, because there was a group of people on that cruise ship that did not have a passport and they had to work with the U.S. Officials there, like the embassy officials. They had to work with the cruise line to figure out how they could fly home, because you can't really fly home with just a birth certificate. You need a passport. You even need a paper like a passport book. A passport card won't fly you home internationally. That was one cautionary tale. And then the other cautionary tale was to make sure that you have travel insurance to cover some of these outstanding costs that you're getting hit with when your cruise gets interrupted. And Whipple, message retracted. Well, thank you for the super chat. Try to ask your question again if you have it down there in the regular chat, and I'll try to pull it out. Thank you so much for the super chat. It allows me to introduce my co-host for today. He doesn't do anything but wave his arms. It's our friend and yours with the thank you for the super chat, Harry Larry Localucha. Super chat. Question from Sam Williams. I am going on an Alaska cruise with Princess in May from Seattle. Which hotel would you recommend that is near the cruise port? I've only stayed at one hotel there, and I was right next to Pier 66. I believe it was a Marriott. It was the Marriott Waterfront. It was a little pricey, right? It's more pricey than what you're going to pay out near the airport. But if you were sailing NCL, that ship was right across the street from where we were at. And so right there at the pier or the waterfront, it puts you right in the middle of all the action. You can easily walk to the Stratosphere. It's not even called the Stratosphere. It's called Space Needle. You can walk to the Space Needle. You can walk to where the original Starbucks is. There's a lot of stuff you can do. A lot of good food restaurants or seafood restaurants right there on the waterfront. And it was the Marriott Waterfront, Seattle. Check that out. Good question. Question, do you know any cruise creators that are on Carnival Horizon right now? Shauna Williams, I don't know any creators that are on Carnival Horizon right now, but that is a nice segue. I got to give a shout out to our friend Jay over at the Ship Life, who just hit a huge milestone yesterday. He joined the 100,000 subscriber club. Shout out to Jay. That guy has been working and grinding, and we just saw him on Wonder of the Seas, and I'm really proud, and I'm really, I don't know, I'm just super happy for him. There was today is a significant date for him personally, and his goal was to hit 100K by this day, and he did it. And so congratulations and kudos to you, Jay, if you see this. And if not, and you're unfamiliar with the Ship Life, make sure you go check out his channel and help get him to the next milestone. There's a lot of creators trying to get, we got the next batch of creators coming into the 100,000 sub category, EECC Travels, Cruise Tips TV. So yeah, let's help push everybody over the top. It's an exciting time for cruising creators. We're just a small niche niche inside of the travel niche. And so there's travel creators that have been cruising, there's Disney creators that have been cruising, and we love them all. But we also love our cruise creators. So make sure you give some love out to the cruise creators. I do believe that they've enabled the ability to hit the hamburger menu. That's the 3 dots on the right by somebody's name, I believe. Let me check it out. Before I do this. Yeah. So I don't want you to leave, but you can leave for a second. If you're a creator and you're in the chat today and you would like some exposure to your channel, just type creator by your name and maybe a little blurb why people should check you out. And folks, if you want to add some people to your list, you can hit that little hamburger menu on the right. You can go to the channel and sub up, but come right back here. Don't leave me. Hope everybody is hit the like button, and I hope everybody subscribed to this channel. Ann Whipple, thank you so much for the super chat. Much appreciated. Super sticker says, get up, get on the scene. You're up. Okay. Christina Shepard, thank you so much for the super chat. Super chat. Oh, everything jumped on me and I saw a good question. Let's see if we can find it again. Question for Marlene Thurman. We're sailing out of Copenhagen and are ending in Boston. Are there different protocols out of Copenhagen? We will be on the RC Voyager of the Seas. Marlene, I've never sailed out of there. I don't have much European experience at all. And so I'd say the best thing to do is to go to your cruise line website, Royal's website, and see what the protocols are. They have it broken down for US cruises, for European cruises. You might want to check that out. I would also check I would check Denmark to make sure what protocols you need to follow to get in the country, whether it's, vaccination or testing, masking, all that stuff. So sorry to put the homework on you, but yeah, I don't have that one in the old memory banks, but I hope you have a great cruise. That sounds like a great one to go out of. Copenhagen, is that where Hans Christian Andersen, is that where that little statue is? I don't know. I've never been over there. That'd be cool though. Christina Shepard, I think I already said thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. Question, have you been on Allure of the Seas? If so, which specialty restaurant is the best? I've been on Harmony, I've been on Wonder of the Seas, I've been on Oasis of the Seas. Those are my Oasis class experiences, which Allure falls in that. I tell you, my favorite specialty restaurant on those ships are the Azumi. I think for sushi at sea, Azumi by Royal Caribbean is some of the best. And so anytime I go on a Royal ship, I'm trying to eat at Azumi. I didn't get to do it on Wonder of the Seas. We kind of stayed away from the specialty restaurant. Azumi's good, and then I always call it the wrong name, but there is a restaurant in Central Park on the Oasis class ships. I think it's called Park 150 Park. I'm saying the wrong name, but that restaurant's awesome. So you can get chops on a lot of different Royal ships, but you can only get that Central Park restaurant, Park 150 or 150 Park. Somebody help me out. You can only get that on the Oasis class, so I would try that. Very delicious. Let's see. Question, how many cruises have you canceled? Don't you lose money? So Loretta, I don't know the count that we've canceled, if you count like the shutdown and all that, but during this post-shutdown period, there's been a lot of leeway from the cruise lines that allow us to cancel cruises, and so we haven't really lost any money. Now, we've rolled a lot of money over into future cruise credit. That's the way we've been doing it, working inside of the policy. We did miss out on some money one time. Right before the shutdown, we had a feeling that our Norwegian cruise would have gotten canceled, but they hadn't canceled it yet, and so we canceled that cruise. We were able to get a refund of our deposit and everything that we'd paid, but just days after that, maybe a week after that, they canceled the cruise on their own and they gave a big bonus, and we missed out on the bonus, so that was kind of a bummer. And then I do want to say this, last week we'd just gotten home after all that marathon cruising, doing it on different cruise ships and driving back and forth, and I was like, I feel like I can cruise too much. Let me tell you, it's a week later, I already got the cruise blues. I'm ready to go cruising again. Now we're 30-something days until we cruise on the Panama Canal, but I already gave Jenny that crazy wild-eyed look, and she's got a lot of work that she has to do for one of our group cruises, and she gave me that look like it would be great if you weren't at the house for a week. So I might try to sneak something in. Now, it's still a lot to do, still a lot of work to do over the next few weeks. Is like tax season, all that kind of stuff. It's it's the pain in the butt time for the small business. But once I get beyond that, there might be a secret cruise in my future. I don't know. I'm ready to go again. Woohoo! It's crazy how it ebbs and flows like that. I got the full-on cruise blues. How about that? That was a great question, Loretta. Let me just say that. Thank you for that. Jill Friedlander, thank you so much for the super chat. Love the channel. We have Celebrity Alaska Cruise in August. Any recommendations? I've only been to August one time. I was there in September. The most fun that I had was on the whale watching in Juneau. I got to see a pod of orca right next to the really small boat that we were on. I tell you what, when you go to Skagway, we did the train there. The train wasn't completely ready. They were doing construction on part of the train route, so we didn't get the full experience. I found that to be kind of boring. But what I found was a lot of people in Skagway hiked around the area, and it was very beautiful in Skagway. So if you're somebody who likes to hike, do outdoorsy stuff, which I'm not one of those people, and even I wanted to go on a hike, I would hike in Skagway. And then in Ketchikan, it was wonderful. Make sure you just do an excursion there. We did the bear excursion. We didn't see any bears. It felt like a waste of money, but the orcas made up for it. But yeah, you know, invest in an excursion, go do something, just get out into the towns and check it out. The other thing that I want to do when I go back to Alaska in August is get some walking sticks. I saw a lot of people with walking sticks, and I had a little walking stick envy. I'm like, maybe that helps you walk a little bit or walk trails or something like that. I've never used walking sticks like the two. That might be an Alaska investment. Jenny, if you're watching the live stream, make a note, please. Yeah, thank you so much for the super chat. World According to Briggs, thank you so much for the super chat. Man, we just stumbled on one of your videos today because we're going to be doing a big road trip after we get off in LA, and we watched your top 10 roadside attractions. Good video, my man. World According to Briggs, thank you for the super chat. I made out like a bandit when they canceled me twice at the beginning of the pandemic. I have 2 cruises booked, including the Vlogger cruise in January. I'm getting the itch right now for another cruise. Yes. It's time to go. I mean, you know, again, I was burnt out a week ago, but I love it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And thanks for the videos that you make. Everybody check out World According to Briggs. Ford Family Follies, thank you so much for the super chat. Question, we were gifted an over-the-water cabana at Coco Cay, but have never had a butler before. What is a reasonable tip for a cabana butler? I don't know, we'll group activity this thing. You got it for free, right? And so, I don't know. How many people do you have? Is it like 4 people? Is it maybe give the guy 60 bucks, 80 bucks? I know that seems like a lot, but I think one of those over-the-water cabanas is a lot. I mean, isn't it like an $800 expenditure? I mean, that's only 10%. I don't know if he got any tip from that booking. Maybe give him $100. I don't know. Is that crazy? Somebody help me out. But if they wait on you hand and foot all day in your free over-the-water cabana, drop the guy $100. That's what I would do, I think. I don't know how many's in your party, but help me out with that. Ford Family Follies, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you ever do 3 to 4 day cruises? We did in the beginning. We started out just to see what they were like, and it was crazy because we would drive from North Carolina to places like Mobile, or we would drive down to Florida and only spend 3 or 4 days on a cruise ship and then get off and then drive all the way back. It was horrible. So I think we're pretty accustomed right now to doing longer cruises, 7 days, 8 days. We got a 14-day coming up for the first time. I would still do a 3 or 4 day cruise, but I would only do it if it was at Port Canaveral, or I would only really do it if it was at Tampa, because both of those, Port Canaveral is about 2.5 hour drive for us, and Tampa is 45 minutes for us. To me, that makes a lot of sense. But if I'm going to invest driving 5 hours down to Fort Lauderdale or 6 to Miami or however long that takes, I got to get more than just 4 days, I think. That kind of thing. Let's see. Oh, the whole chat jumped looking for questions. Yeah, so World According to Briggs, $500 to the butler in the Haven. Is that after like staying for a week, that kind of thing? $100 a day. Let's see. Okay, $1,800 for Family Ford Follies. $1,800 for over the water cabana. 8 of us. Yeah, give that guy a couple $100. What? 10%'s 18 or $180. 20%'s $360. If there's 8 of you guys, it could be kids in there too. Yeah, get everybody to throw in $40, man, and over tip them. Like the cool thing is, not cool, but you know, all these folks that are working on cruise ships, they went for 2 years without working, and if you got a little extra coin, what a great time to bless somebody, especially, you know, like you said, if you got it for free. So pop them hard, pop them hard. Question: have you sailed on most cruise lines? What has been your favorite so far? So we've sailed on 5 cruise lines. You know, noticeably absent from our cruising is Virgin Voyages, Holland America Line, some of the nice, look, YouTube is killing me with Seabourn ads. I don't know if maybe I said it out loud or something like that. Ooh, I'd like to try Seabourn. You know, I've never been on Oceania, never been on Seabourn, never been on Regent Seven Seas. My favorite cruise line, like if you forced me to cruise, like to only cruise one cruise line going forward, I would cruise on Royal. Royal to me has the best entertainment. They have the other secondary things I want. I can get good buffet. I can get good included food like pizza, El Loco Fresh. I can get good main dining room. Again, there's not a main dining room that's knocked my socks off, but I can get, you know, a passable that, and then good access to specialty restaurants. And then they have the ship design that I like the best. I like that promenade atrium. I like that better than not the promenade atrium. So if I was forced to choose, I would cruise Royal. That's probably what I've done the most of in the last couple years, but I do like trying them all. So fortunately, I'm not like locked down into it. And you know, I'm still going to be cruising everything. We got Carnival this year. We got Norwegian this year. Now, I haven't explored Norwegian a lot. I really enjoyed the Norwegian Joy. And so who knows, when I get a few more Norwegians under my belt, I may change that. But if you were forcing me to pick today to only cruise one more line, I would probably pick Royal Caribbean, international style. Tropical Tom Garcia, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Love my walking poles. There you go, Tom. Thank you for that feedback. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I've looked at them a couple times on Amazon. I don't know why I haven't pulled the trigger, but we're trying to start walking more, and I think the poles could be helpful in that endeavor. Life in the Parks, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Creator trying to hit 100K subs. Already have Princess and Disney Cruise Vlogs and NCL and Virgin coming up next. There you go. Thank you so kindly for the super chat. And certainly, everybody, go check them out. See what they got going on over there. I'm going to do it right now. Go to channel. Let's see what happens. Oh, something went wrong. It did not work for me. I lost the whole thing. Well, maybe I can't do it as a creator. I've just lost the whole chat. Everything's gone sideways. Where'd the chat go? Okay, here's the chat. I'll have to check you guys out afterwards, but is anybody able to do the hamburger menu and go to channel? Don't leave the stream, but somebody, at least one person, leave the stream. Let me know if that happened. Thank you guys so much for the super chat. Super chat. Right under that super chat, Billy Jones says, is Royal good for kids? Yeah, definitely. They got all kinds of stuff. They got the mini golf, they got the zip line, they got the slides, they got the flow rider, they got laser tag. Yeah. They're good. Carnival's good for kids. I don't know what NCL's got going on again. I need to be on more of those, but all of those major big lines got good kids programs. Sandra Thompson, Hurtigruten, although not technically a cruise line, they are kind of. I mean, they do those ferries around Norway, like just general ferries taking people to and fro. They got their whole expedition cruise line. One of my big like bucket lists is I would love to go to Antarctica and go like on the Roald Amundsen, which is a real high tech expedition ship that Hurtigruten has. That's probably years down the road for me. Like I need to be in some good expedition shape, and I'm sure that's costly. So, but yeah, definitely Hurtigruten's on the map. On the map. 150 Park is amazing. That's right. I like the little salted butter they give you. Suq 2000 question: are they starting to close? They're starting to close test sites. Do you see test requirements ending? I'm getting worried for my upcoming May cruise. Now, I've said it for a bit, as as restrictions start coming down, I do believe that pre-cruise testing will be one of the next things to go away. Now, the cruise lines have the numbers. They know how many people are booked, and they know how many people, when they take that pre-cruise test, have to cancel because they come up positive. If that number continues to decrease, I can see the cruise lines doing away with that. Of course, we have the next version of the Omicron variant, BA2 or something like that. They're seeing big numbers in places that we usually follow, right? We're seeing it overseas, and then they're starting to see it in New York. But everything that I'm hearing is that it's acting a lot like Omicron, and since we had a lot of people infected with Omicron here, it may just be a blip on the radar. So it's like everything else over the last 2 years. We take it all in and we wait and see what happens. We're in a good place right now with cases going down. We're in a good places where the CDC is becoming more relaxed when it comes to cruising, and therefore we're in a good place where cruise lines are becoming more relaxed with their protocols. And so I think that pre-cruise testing will be next. Go ahead and get yourself some at-home tests if you can do those. It's always good to have some of those on hand. I did a whole video on how to do the at-home test. I was nervous. I messed up. If you haven't seen that video, I completely knocked the test kit off the table, and I have to go through a whole thing to make sure I get my test done. But I think if testing's going away, that's probably a good indication that testing is going away. So we'll have to see how it goes. Let's see. Happy Joy with a question. We booked Symphony for September. We paid for the room, gratuities, and port fees, and we will get the packages of drinks and food by July. Will there be any surprise fees? That's a good question. What else could you have to pay for? You got gratuities, you got excursions. Have you booked excursions? Are you going to buy photos? Photos were terribly more expensive than I thought they would be the first time I had to purchase a photo. How about that internet? Are you going to get some internet? That's additional cost. You could get internet pre-cruise for probably a cheaper price than when you get on the cruise. But, you know, again, it depends whether or not you use the internet. Yeah, if you got drinks and food and you got your excursions locked in, and you're not going to buy any pictures, you're pretty well covered, you know, unless you go into the souvenir shop and you find a t-shirt or something that you want like that. But also maybe whatever cash you need at the ports, right? If you want to go out there and go and do some local shopping. But no, it sounds like you guys are in a good place. Rhonda Reed, thank you so much for the super chat. Erica Emoti, thank you so much for the assist. Thank you, Erica, part of the Blue Crew. Much appreciated.
Super chat.
Get a little water in. Luis Gonzalez, what restrictions are there for 4-year-olds? Carnival says we have to purchase an activity to get off board with my 4-year-old due to restrictions. Is that true? So what I know, Royal just changed it where it doesn't matter. Carnival, I believe, so, and it's best to, like, I only, I'm not 100% perfect, so make sure you follow up with Carnival for this. I believe that Carnival announced this week that unvaccinated kids did not have to be a part of a bubble excursion, which was a special unvaccinated only excursion, but they did have to be a part of a ship excursion to get off. So that sounds correct. It sounds like if you want to get your unvaccinated kid off of Carnival, you still have to do some sort of ship excursion. Royal, on the other hand, is if you have an unvaccinated kid, you can do whatever you want. So maybe Carnival will get there soon. But Carnival's big announcement this week was that the bubble excursion requirement went away. Good question. Have you heard about the changes made to Quantum of the Seas now that they will be in Alaska this summer? I haven't heard of the changes. The only positive change that I've heard is that our friend Chris Wong will be returning back to his career in the as a casino host, and he will be doing it on, no, he's doing it on Ovation, right? Not Quantum. Now I forgot. Chris Wong's going on Ovation, right? Does anybody see Chris Wong? I don't know any changes of Quantum. I hadn't heard anything, Bill. Question from Anthony Hyatt, who is new. I booked 2 cruises for the summer on MSC and Virgin. Are there any perks to using a travel agent, or would just doing it myself be easier? Did you already book, or you're looking to book? The thing that you get with the travel agent is you get, and of course, full disclosure, we have this media business where I make entertainment for you guys around cruising, but then we also have a separate business that is all about booking your travel, and that is helmed by the beautiful Jenny B and her team, Team Jenny B. Why would you use a travel agent? Well, the reason you would use a travel agent is because for no money, it is you've got tons of expertise. So Jenny has booked thousands of cruises. She's canceled cruises. She knows what it's like. She knows who to call, that kind of thing. Sometimes there's special pricing, not every time. Sometimes you get OBC, not every time. And so it's really having somebody there with you to help you with your cruise booking process, to suggest for you where's the best spot on the cruise ship to be, to ask you questions like, do you get motion sickness, to really go through all of the things based on their expertise to help you have the best vacation experience. It's like having a partner for free. It's like having an expert in your pocket for free. And so, yeah, not always will you save more money. You'll never pay more than what the cruise line's going to charge you, depending when you book, right? It's all supply and demand. But at the time that you're booking, you will not pay more than what the cruise line is charging you. And some people out there like to just book everything on their own and manage their own thing. And so if that's the kind of person that you are, I would not engage a travel agent. But if you're like me and don't want to think about anything, you just want to go, I just want to do this, and somebody takes care of all that for you, that's a good reason to have a travel agent. It's a good question. I hope that answer makes sense. Question, my Vax card faded. I can't read it at all. What do I do? I would contact the state health authority wherever you live and say, I got trouble with my vaccine card. Can I get a replacement? Is there a digital version? That kind of thing. Just like any other government document that you have. If if your passport gets to the point where people that are looking at it can't read it, they won't accept it. And so you got to be proactive there to make sure that there's no damage to your passport, or same thing with your vaccine card. Let's see. Question: are there cheapish cabins for suitable for 3 adults? Yeah, definitely. I think there's even some interiors that would sleep 4. This would be a joke. This would be a great question for a travel agent. A great reason to use a travel agent, because I wouldn't even know how to start searching for that on my own. Again, I don't do that a lot. But yes, I believe. I know scenarios, like especially on some of these like spring break or, booze cruise type things. I know there's scenarios where, 4 adults are in a tiny cabin just so that they can get in, change clothes, and get their party on. So there's definitely something that would accommodate 3 people. Question from Stephen Z. Stephen Z, you know that answer, but thank you for the promotion. Stephen Z asking if we have a Patreon channel where you can support our efforts. We do have a Patreon channel. If you like these live streams and you'd like to get an exclusive live stream, we do one every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. just for the folks over on the Patreon. That's patreon.com/LaLidoLoca. And we also have a get a postcard program over there too. So if you'd like to get a postcard from us when we travel, you can do that over there. Stephen, thank you so much. I wish I would have read that question better. Question: when is the best time to sail to Alaska? So I've only sailed in September. It was a little rainy. Some of the animals were already done with their feeding season. I believe the season starts from... Is it starting in April? I believe it's May to September. And a lot of people say go early in the season for the better weather. I don't know. I think anytime during this, I was happy in September. I don't exactly know the best time. I guess that would be the answer for me. I'll know what it's like in August this year, but I've never been early in the season. Anybody out there that's cruised in Alaska multiple times, what time of the year would you recommend? Help us out in the comments. Jordan Gage. I don't know why I always do it backwards. Jordan Gage, thanks so much for the super chat. Happy Sunday, Tony. I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for the Sunday live. It's so weird. Like, weekend doesn't really mean anything to us anymore. Like, we call the weekends the days you don't want to go in public because there's more people out there. So we kind of always like stay at home during the weekend. One thing I do want to do though, and I'm trying to decide whether or not it's worth it. They have the Renaissance Festival, like I don't know what it's called, but there's a Renaissance Festival for like 6 weeks down here, and you have to do that on the weekend, and I'm thinking it'd be cool to go film. I don't know where I would put the output of that film on there, but maybe next weekend I go to the Renaissance Festival. Again, if I can pre-make some stuff like I did today, that'd be kind of cool. Thank you for the super chat. Sharon Stockman, thank you so much for the super chat. FYI, if you need a new vaccination card, contact where you received the vaccination. They can recreate it. Thanks for all you do. So there you go. I've never tried that. I got mine like at CVS, so it'd be interesting to see if they could redo that. Mine's still in good shape, though. We've kept it fairly well. Fuzzy Duck, thank you so much for the super chat. Hi, do you feel the effect of only having one cantilevered hot tub on Wonder? Did you feel the effect? There was also to be less seating in it because of the glass wall too busy. I didn't use any of the hot tubs. Fuzzy Duck, there was a lot of hot tubs. I don't know if I didn't hear anybody complaining about any challenges with the hot tubs. There were hot tubs on both sides, port and starboard. There were hot tubs on port and starboard in the solarium. Yeah, so Fuzzy Duck, I don't know anybody that had any hot tub challenges. If you're talking about the glass side one, like there was no seating there, those were kind of neat to look at. I didn't hear anybody complaining about them, but yeah, I definitely would have lost some seating if that glass walled hot tub where you could see people's legs, which was odd. If those hot tubs had seats previously, then, but yeah, everybody seemed happy in the hot tubs. Michael McShane, thank you so much for the super chat. Question: any news update on the Passenger Vessel Services Act? Is there a time window closing for the season? I haven't heard anything. So what I need to do, what we could all do, is we could go look up that Alaska Tourism Recovery Act. I think that's what it's called. And that's the thing that they're trying to get renewed. And we could find out what the bill number is, and we could put that in the Congress database, and it would tell us what the latest is. Maybe I'll do that one day this week. But yeah, all I heard is that Senator Murkowski was trying to get an exemption. It does seem like Canada's, making accommodating rules so that it won't impact Alaska. But yeah, I haven't heard anything lately. Journey with Josh with the very true statement. The chat goes by too quickly. Yeah, it's hard. Every time I look down, it's jumped. Look, H2O. Stephen Hunt, question. We are booked on the Prima March 5, 2023. You have a group cruise planned. Can we still join in the group if we've already booked? We look forward to meeting you and Jenny. Yeah, so if there's anything that's specifically with the group, like if we get a group cocktail party, or if, you know, wherever we're having dining at where all of our reservations are tied together, any of those group events are just going to be for people who booked with the group. That's one of the benefits they're getting by booking with the group. But we are out and about on the ship, and so obviously we would be able to say hi and hang out a little bit. But the people that have, you know, booked on the group to go on the group cruise will obviously have more access to us than that. So that's just kind of the way the group stuff works. It would be weird for people to book with us and be with us, and then, you know, have the same access of people who didn't. So I hope that makes sense. But good question. Let's see. Don says, what typically qualifies as a partial view balcony room? I'm not sure what that language is. Sometimes you'll hear obstructed view. That means that you may open your balcony and all you can see is the lifeboats, or, you know, maybe you're part of the curve of the ship and you look to the left and you just see the wall of another balcony, that kind of thing. Usually it's some sort of obstruction. A lot of times you can get those cabins for less than just a regular cabin, but that's usually what that means. Good question. Let's see. Question, what's the cheapest way to be able to reach people in your party when on the Mardi Gras? You know, you could, I mean, cheapest, like if you wanted to go zero, you could all stick whiteboards on, you know, your cabin, or pick one person's cabin, and then you could all go leave messages for each other. And I'm not saying that as a joke. I'm just saying you could do like kind of that kind of thing, you know, leave a schedule somewhere and say, okay, for the next hour, I'm going to be here. They do have a chat app. You don't have to buy the full-on internet. I believe it's $5 per person per cruise. You can buy their chat app, and then you could communicate on your phones. But again, like I say, you could be creative and use some sort of messaging system. Pick one person's cabin that will be the home base, and you guys could go leave messages. The only risk that you run is somebody steals your whiteboard or changes the message, or, you know, those kind of things tend to happen on cruise ships too. But yeah, that would probably be the cheapest. Let's see. Yeah, it's true. I can slow the chat down in my thing. I like the frenetic, you know, what's jumping out at me, so I don't want it to go too slow. But now there's no questions. How about that? Walkie-talkies are being used. Question, have you ever booked a studio room with NCL? I've never booked a studio room with NCL. I have seen some video of those. They look pretty small. That is their option for solo cruisers. And I believe they put them all together so you have like a little solo area. The best solo experience I ever had, though, was on the Spectrum of the Seas. It was a solo balcony. But yeah, I like the fact that they have it. I like the fact that NCL has that solo cabin, so they're not charging you a solo supplement. But I've never been in one. Good question. Question, we are going to Alaska. This is from Randy. We're going to Alaska in August on the Spirit. Just wondering if we're going the same time as you will be. We're going the 24th. Yes, we will be in Alaska, because I know that our Alaska is around my birthday. I don't know if it's before or after. We're on the NCL Escape, but I believe it is that week of the 24th. So how about that? Good place to stay in Vancouver for an Alaska cruise. Joanne Burst, never been to Vancouver, so I'm not sure. Anybody stayed in Vancouver? Maybe help Joanne with a recommendation. Doug Bray, my friend in the house. What's up? Question, what would your suggestion be for the best way to travel from Orlando International Airport to Port Canaveral? I would look for a shuttle. Like if you're staying with the hotel, that's the first place I would ask. A lot of time there's a included free shuttle. And then knowing me, I would probably just Uber over there. I don't know what the cost is to Uber, but I like the convenience of the Uber. I like not having to jam myself into a shuttle van with a bunch of other people. And so even if it was more expensive, I would probably Uber. But what I have been doing when I've flown is I have been checking with the hotel to see if I can get a free shuttle over there. And if a free shuttle's there, I'll jam myself into a shuttle and go. But if I've got to pay, the way I'm paying is Uber or Lyft or some other ride share. Question, packing tips for Alaska in May. I think the simplest answer, Loretta, is to just pack with layers. That's what I noticed. You know, I had a rain slicker and I had something like another shirt to keep me warm. Layers is it. And then for around the ship, I was still knocking around in my shorts and stuff. So that's what I would do. I would make sure that you packed in layers and that you had easy access to something warm and the ability to take off that warm thing if all of a sudden, it got hot. So, the temperature did change a little bit when you would go, like you'd be in the town, it would be a little different than if you went up to a higher altitude, it would be a little colder. $75 for Uber or Lyft. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't guess I've ever flown into Orlando, but yeah. Queen Beat is in the house. I think she was first twice this week. Queen Beat is the queen of the notification squad, and I would say that Doug Bray is probably the king of the notification squad. They're often the first commenters out there. So I'm not saying it's a competition, but now I've squarely put targets on the king and queen of the notification squad. Get in if you can. If you can. Let's see. Question from Sheila. Have we ever cruised on the NCL Inter-Island Hawaii cruise? And if you did you plan your own excursions? We have not had the opportunity to go to Hawaii yet. It's on the bucket list, so I don't have an answer for that. Any of you Hawaiian cruisers, what's the best thing to do in Hawaii? I think I'm going to surf the pipeline, right? No, okay. I don't think I have the skills for that. Any update on European cruise protocols? You know, I have not looked at all. I don't know what's going on just because there's so many different countries over there. I would say the best advice is if you're cruising in Europe, to go to your cruise line or to go to the country that you're planning to cruise out of and get the latest. Get the latest. Tyler Show is in the house. What is up? Yeah, the Tyler Show is over there in Port Canaveral. He needs to start a shuttle service. You could probably make some coin there. Question from Marie. Any areas of the Carnival ships that still have restrictions? I've not been on a Carnival ship. Have I been on a Carnival ship? I haven't been on the Carnival ship since October of 2021. I know a lot of folks just got off of Carnival. I know that mask became recommended on Carnival. They said that there may be some areas that still required a mask. Anybody that's cruised Carnival since Omicron, have you noticed any restrictions? Of course, in the terminal, we're still wearing masks for all the cruise lines. In the cruise terminal for embarkation and debarkation, I feel like that's going to go away. The TSA set that based on recommendations from the CDC. They just extended that another month, I believe, until April the 18th. So I think we'll be till April the 18th. But I think most of the cruise lines have removed the mask. Charisse in Texas. I hope I said your name right. Chris Wrong will be on the Ovation. Thank you so much. Yeah, as soon as I started reading Quantum, I was like, oh, I think it's Ovation. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the kind words. Thanks so much.
Super chat.
All right, I'm gonna crack open a little. I don't have any caffeine, but I feel fairly well caffeinated. This is a Walmart brand cherry limeade. Cherry limeade. Oh, there we go. Anybody like cherry limeade? This is my favorite drink at Sonic, but we don't really have any Sonics here. Ooh, that's delicious. So cherry and citrusy. I'm doing a commercial for cherry limeade. When is our Panama Canal cruise? Somebody just asked. Stephen Hunt just asked that. It is the 27th of April. April is in my mistress' face. Any madrigals out there? Seth Duncan question. First time going on a celebrity cruise, always done Carnival. Are the dress code the same? Is celebrity much more strict? Going on the edge out of Rome in September. Any tips with them? Look, you can walk around in shorts all day, especially if you're not going to the main dining room, if you're just going to the buffet. That's what I did on Celebrity, but you do feel underdressed. Like, it's very much in the evening when adult folks go on to, enjoy their evening and to get their drink on and to get their dinner and stuff like that. Most people, they're not dressed to the nines, but it's slacks and it's a nice shirt and you got the gel in your hair, that kind of thing. On the Apex, I still knocked around in my shorts all day, and there were a couple. I was the only one in shorts, but I did feel like, dang, I should put some pants on. But then I didn't want to put pants on because I live in Florida. But yeah, it's definitely an elevated kind of vibe. And I would say that if it's your first celebrity cruise, take some nice clothes, dress up, and enjoy those evenings because it is really nice and it's a whole vibe. But yes, I hope that answers your question. Good question. Thank you so much. Question: do you think any Justin Brandy, do you think any of the COVID changes will become permanent? 100%. I think that the e-muster will be... Oh, a story I didn't cover? I think the e-muster will be permanent. The quick muster drill, the do it your way, and then get it, check in at the muster station. That's going to be the big silver lining of COVID. Holland America just announced, and I don't know if anybody's cruised lately, but most of the cruise lines in Miami, in Fort Lauderdale, and a lot in Port Canaveral, when you get off the cruise ship, the U.S. Customs process is through facial recognition. You don't even have to show your passport now. Always have your passport in hand in case you get pulled aside and you do have to show it. You don't have to worry about that. But most of the time, most of the cruises we've gotten off lately, you just walk out to the exit. They have a device there where you remove your mask. It does facial recognition, and that's it. That's your whole custom process. Holland America just announced that they will be doing that on embarkation, where you'll have like a 10-second embarkation. I don't know how that's going to be possible, but that sounds super exciting. And so again, these are a couple changes that are coming about because of the pandemic. I think the customs facial recognition was starting to go on prior to the shutdown, but yeah, I think the cruise lines and the U.S. government are incorporating some more technology there to make that whole process faster, which is kind of exciting. Good question. Good question. D Hicks. Oh, I lost it. I lost it all. D Hicks 3406. Thank you so much for the super chat. On the celebration, we had no restrictions, only in the terminal. Thank you for that. Yeah, it's we had very little restrictions on the Wonder of the Seas.
Super chat.
Question from Deborah: what's the longest cruise you've been on? Any advice for a 9-month world cruise? The longest cruise that we've been on will be coming up. It'll be the 14-day Panama Canal cruise. I think 8 days or... Well, I mean, you could almost count the side-by-side that we did. So when we were on the Sky Princess, we got off the Sky Princess for 4 hours. Then we embarked on the Celebrity Apex, and we stayed there for a week. So that was like 14 days on a cruise. Any advice for a 9-month world cruise? I think the biggest nut to crack is like if you take prescription medication. I think that's a big deal. I think you got to figure out, and I think there's a process for that. So I would just say anything that you do frequently, anything that you get on a monthly basis that you have to have, you're going to have to come up with some sort of plan for that on the 9-month world cruise. But other than that, you know, your laundry, of course, that's going to be done on the cruise ship. But yeah, that's exciting. Congratulations if you're booked on a 9-month world cruise. How about that? How about that? Cruise goals. Question, cruise line with the youngest demographics, millennials, not talking about kids. Wu-Tang, I don't know where any of that data is available. I'm going to say that Carnival probably skews younger. Maybe Virgin skews younger, but I think if you're looking for youth, I almost think it's the cruise that you go on. So like if you go on some short weekend, like 3-4 day cruises, you might get a younger crowd than say a 14-day transatlantic, that kind of thing. But yeah, you're going to want to look at line. And if you're looking for like a scene for a party and a dancing and stuff like that, I think you got to look at those lines that are kind of known for that. Carnival, even Royal, Virgin. But I would, if you're really wanting that demographic, I would be looking for like a 4-day cruise, a 3-day cruise, that kind of thing. A good question though. Thank you for the question. Let me catch these other super chats. Bill Where's Nick? Thank you so kindly for the super chat. And Sheila C. Thank you so much for the super chat. Say no to pants. I do most of the time. That's what Florida has done to me. Question, do you usually plan your own excursions? Sheila, I very rarely plan my own excursions. I probably should. I probably should reach out to some of these excursion companies and see if they want me to come. I like paying more for the ship excursion so that I know that I'm going to get back on time. Like one of my biggest phobias, and there's no rational reason for it to be a phobia. One of my biggest phobias is missing the cruise ship because I'm on an excursion. We've been on an excursion that was late before. Fortunately, it was a ship excursion, so we didn't have any trouble. But I could be probably saving a lot of money booking third-party excursions. But I just do like the fact that the ship excursions guarantee that they'll get you back to the ship. So that's probably the biggest reason that we do it, Let's see. Question, thinking about trying the loyalty match and trying MSC, any experience with matching, sailing with MSC? Yeah. So I think the first time that we sailed with MSC, we got something matched. They only go up to a certain level. But yeah, definitely do it because you could open yourself up to some perks that you wouldn't have if you didn't match. So yeah, do that for sure. That's a good thing to call out. Courtney, good question. Gusty's Family Adventure question, is the buffet back to normal or do they dish it out for you? I think it depends on the cruise line. So on Royal, they were dishing it out, but I feel like we were on a cruise line where we helped ourselves. I feel like on Celebrity, they were dishing it out. Princess, they were dishing it out. It might have been on Norwegian where we were able to help ourselves. I think for the most part, the majority are dishing it out. But I think some line has it where you can dish yourself. It wasn't bad either way. Good question. Make sure I don't miss any super chats. Let's see. Subcooled One, thank you so kindly for the super sticker. Much appreciated. And Jordan Gage, thank you for the Jordan Gage throwing down the gauntlet, making the claim that he's the #1 fan. He's the #1 fan from Canada for sure, but the #1 fan in this live stream for sure. He's made the claim. Happy Joy question, we booked the Symphony Oh, I answered that question already, Happy Joy. I don't know if you heard the answer, but go back and check that out. Question from Mick G. Question: doing a 10-day Southern Caribbean cruise this summer. Any suggestions on a good pre-cruise hotel that offers complimentary breakfast? Cheers. What port are you cruising out of? So we go, if you're going out of like Canaveral, the resort at the port has breakfast. The Country Inn and Suites has breakfast. If you're going out of Fort Lauderdale, we like to stay at the Hyatt Place or Hyatt House. They're right next to each other. Both of them have breakfast. Yeah, there's a lot of options there. Just depends where you're going out of. But if you're going out, just take your cruise port and search for stuff near your cruise port. Normally you can tick breakfast and you'll be able to see that. How does MSC differ from Carnival and Royal? I would think that some would say this is from the Queen herself, Queetbeat. How does it differ? MSC has been beating those two on price quite a bit. Some would say that the food is worse on MSC than on Carnival and Royal. The entertainment is a little different, but to me, it's not that much there. I think the ships on MSC is as nice or nicer than some of the ships on Carnival and Royal because they're all new. I think it's worth a try. Again, and the crowd could be a little more eclectic. MSC does pull a lot of people, international folks like from Europe, and so you'll be on a place where you're going to hear different foreign languages. So it's a little bit of a different cultural vibe on MSC, I would say, than on Carnival and Royal. But I would give it a try. Yeah, if we missed the ship, that would make a great video. I'm not looking to make that video. Favorite beach club in Cozumel? The only one that I've been to is Mr. Sancho's. I also had a private excursion, or I had a ship excursion to Paradise Beach, I believe it was. But we had a 10-person cabana where they brought us, lunch and dinner and all that stuff. That was a great experience. But as far as those beach clubs like Nachi Cacombe and Sancho's, I've only been to Sancho's. That was a good time. Our friends Jason and Elisa just went to Nachi Cacombe. They did a nice video, so go check out EECC Travels, and you can get a good vibe about what's going on over there. Carnival, you serve yourself right now. How about that? That's pretty cool. All the bacon are they still making you smile for the bacon? I don't know. Chuck Spencer, thank you so kindly for the super chat. He's always good with being the #2 fan. Shut up, you poo. I never know how to say your name. Shud you poo. Thank you so much for the super chat. Saw Island Time live yesterday. Carnival is considering going back to the old muster because of poor compliance is causing late departures. If they do that, I feel like that's a huge mistake. They need to figure out how to get people to do their muster drill. But if you go back to where everybody has to stand out in the hot sun, that would be a differentiate. That would make me think differently about jumping on Carnival because, as I always used to say, even before the pandemic, the three biggest pain points of cruising is embarkation, the muster drill, and disembarkation. And as cruise lines have, through the pandemic, made all three of those things better, if all of a sudden you're going to backtrack on that, I would be bummed out. Yeah, that's a crazy thing. I guess hopefully it's just a bluff and a threat, but I would be like, if that actually happened, I would be like, David, why do I rank my Asian cruise so high? Well, it's probably the most the most interesting experience I've ever had in my life. Unique experience. Those stops in Japan were mind-blowing. It was so neat to see a culture. Even in China, China was wild. I had a job before where I had a team in China, and so as I learned about their culture virtually from all the way, halfway around the world, it was really hard to understand some of the things. Like I had a guy that worked for me that, he said they were only allowed to have one child, that they lived with their parents, that they lived in an apartment where they didn't have a dryer. And then when we were in Shanghai, the trip from the airport to the cruise terminal, it was just thousands and thousands of these concrete buildings with laundry hanging. It was a whole wild deal, man. It blew my mind a little bit. And that was heavy. You really felt the heaviness of people living in China in that culture. And then, we spent a few days at Shanghai Disneyland, which was a whole different weird kind of thing because they love the mainland Chinese love Shanghai Disney. And to be just a few Westerners in that scenario, that was wild. And then we were on a cruise ship where we were, less than 100 Westerners, and we went to places that I'd only read about in books and seen on TV. That's why why it holds such a high place with me, because it was so unique. And that was really the first cruise I went on that I wish I'd have just gone to Japan and stayed there longer. But yeah, good question. But yeah, it's probably one of my favorite cruise experiences. Question, question from Sean and Wendy, God is amazing. Question, I agree. Have you or Jenny done back-to-back on the same cruise? No. So the only thing we've ever done is that side-to-side that we did about a month ago, and I told you it wore me out. Like, I think if you're going to go that long on a cruise ship, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, stay on the same cruise ship. I think it would have been a better experience. Good question. Question, cruising March the 26th on the Carnival Horizon. What was the weather like in the Bahamas, Grand Turk, and Amber Cove in March? I don't know. So it was warm, like when we were just down in the Caribbean this last week. It was in the 80s. I don't think it'll be much different in the next couple weeks. So that'll be kind of cool. Cool. All right. I think it jumped down to the bottom. Let's see. Jill Cuddy, sailing on the edge in 2 weeks. Tips for best live music and dining. So we went to Eden on the Edge. I think if you like interesting food, if you like an interesting presentation, I would definitely go to Eden. Any of the live music was good. Of course, they've got the whole atrium area there. It's a show every night. They've got the kind of flair show with the bartenders. We had a good time in the, it's called the Club. It's like a 2-level club. They would have music in there, and they would have game shows. You can't go wrong. I mean, I think Celebrity, one of their biggest draws is their live music, and I don't think you're going to go wrong with any of them. I can't think of any that I would say don't miss, and then I can't think of any that I would say don't not see. I don't know if that means the same thing, but yeah, nothing sticks out when it comes to the Edge because it was so long ago, other than the fact that all the live music was good. So go check all that out. A question from Jordan. I have a Disney cruise booked in November on the 7th on the Wish and get off on the 11th. I get on Disney Fantasy on the 12th. How would you call that? I mean, you got a day in between. It's kind of a side-by-side. I mean, you're not going home or anything like that. It's kind of a side-by-side, but it's almost like 2 cruises, which side-by-side's 2 cruises anyways. Let's see. Teresa has a question. If someone in my party should test positive on Friday before leaving Sunday, will we be reimbursed for the cruise? Teresa, you got to answer a question that I could ask a question I can answer anyways. It depends on the cruise line. It depends on their policies. And the best way to know that for sure would be to check with the cruise line. I would hate to say that you could get money back and then you not be able to get money back. But yeah, any of that testing positive before the cruise, will you get your money back? You got to check with your cruise line to see what their rules and regs and circumstances are. There you go. Question, has Jenny convinced you to host a couple of group cruises in 2024? We don't have any 2024 group cruises booked yet. So yeah, we haven't really delved into it. Patricia Simon, thank you so much for the kind words. And that was the question from Doug. Doug, where do you want to go? Question, first Aruba trip in May on Allure. Any suggestions? No, we're still waiting to go to Aruba. That was one of the cruise ports that we wanted to go to that got knocked out because of the pandemic. Just a reminder, everybody, we only started cruising in 2017, and then we got the shutdown. And so, we started cruising in 2017. We only did a couple in 2017. We only did a few in 2018. We really started to ramp up in 2019. Then we got shut down. And so there's a lot of places on our list, like the ABC Islands that we haven't been to yet. Finally got our number up to 25, 26 cruises, but Aruba this year, I believe, on our Halloween cruise on the Horizon. So I don't really know any great things to do in Aruba other than it's a cool place to go. So anybody with Aruba suggestions, drop it in the comments. MJM2, thank you so kindly for the super sticker. Very kind. Thanks for supporting the creativity. We appreciate it.
Super chat.
Ford Family Follies question, found you through Morgan. Do we plan to cruise in Europe? Yeah, that's part of the big deal. Once everything settles down, the war's not helping. And so, man, if you're people who love peace and stuff like that, let's all have some positive thoughts that war would cease, regardless of the conflict. But yeah, I think war's kind of making traveling off the continent a little challenging, but we would definitely love to go to Europe and explore Europe. So many things on the bucket list, British Isles cruises, Baltic cruises, which are completely not happening, and Mediterranean, all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully I could see Morgan at some point in Germany. That'd be kind of cool. Question: has Don rebooked or canceled his cruise? I don't think Don has rebooked or canceled anything that I know of. That's thank you for bringing up Don, though. Another thing, if you guys are positive vibe people, praying people, anything like that, Don's got a test. They saw something on one of his scans. He's been open about this, so I'm not talking out of school. He saw something on a recent scan, the doctor, and they've asked Don to come in for another scan, and that's tonight at 10 p.m., which is wild. 10 p.m. on a Sunday. So look, if you're praying folks, if you're a positive vibe folks, if you're just somebody who wants to think good things, please have a positive thought for Don as he goes through this test tonight. I know he's been a little stressed about it. So much love to Don, and we hope he gets a good report. Question from Lisa: any recommendation at the Mason Jar on the Wonder? Will definitely be eating there on the transatlantic. FYE, Eagle Beach is amazing in Aruba. Thank you for the suggestion. What did I really like at the Mason Jar? We felt like that the appetizers were better than the entrees, and there was a watermelon salad there. I can't remember the full name of it. That was probably the best thing I ate. Watermelon and tomato salad. The pimento cheese was good. Look, I'm Southern people. This is the problem. If you're not Southern people, the food's going to be amazing. It's going to be like when you go to Cracker Barrel and you're going to like, what is all of this? But if you grew up and your grandma's frying fried chicken and all of the things, you're like, meh, meh, meh. So the pimento cheese, it was cool to have pimento cheese on a cruise ship, but it wasn't like the best pimento cheese I'd ever had. But that watermelon salad was banging. I would do that, and the breads were good. So you're gonna have good food, but again, it depends how into Southern food you are, how you'll feel about it, honestly. What? Ooh, Jenny got me coffee.
On camera.
Say hello, Jenny.
Hello.
Well, look at this. I guess I am gonna get caffeinated. Well, that's delicious. Anthony Hyatt, what's the best cruise line loyalty program? I'm not a huge fan of loyalty program yet. I mean, I guess now that I'm starting to get... So we've got 5 different cruise lines with a variety of different sailing numbers on all of them. So we're not really deep into a loyalty program. So I really don't go deep into the thought process. Again, I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me, in my mind, and it could be wrong, and it could just be me not wanting to be loyal. I feel like you spend thousands of dollars to eventually get a perk like free laundry, which costs $100. And so to me, I'm still trying to figure out the math where, hey, you spent $30,000. Now every time that you cruise, do you cruise once a year, twice a year? Now you get a free $100 perk. Loyalty's funny like that. I don't know of many loyalty programs in life that, well, the Dunkin' and the Starbucks loyalty I like because I'm going to buy that stuff anyways. And then it's nice to get free coffee. So I don't know that I'm the person to ask about loyalty. I'm sure there's some people that are going to tell you their favorite. The thing I like about loyalty is the free laundry. But again, I would just rather spend the $100 whenever I need to spend the $100 opposed to being locked into going into one cruise line. I like to play the field when it goes to cruising. Good question. Let's see, Justin, would you recommend Mardi Gras or Oasis of the Seas? I'm planning for a cruise next year. If you could only do one cruise, I don't know what you like. I guess that's the question I would follow up with. Another good reason to use a travel agent. This would be a great question to ask a travel agent, because if I was your travel agent, I would say, hey, Justin, what are you into? And if you said, man, I want to see the best entertainment on sea, I would say, well, man, the Mardi Gras got some great entertainment, but the Oasis of the Seas has such a variety of entertainment, you'd have to book that. Now, if you said, man, I want to ride a roller coaster on sea, I'd be like, well, you only got one option for that. I would cruise on the Mardi Gras. It just depends. Like, do you want a real interactive cruise director? Do you want a big party scene? Do you want deck parties and a big old, party? Maybe I would choose the Mardi Gras, but if you're, if I'm the person making the choice, I got to go on Oasis because I want the aqua show, I want the ice skating, I want the Broadway show, and I want the other stuff that comes along with it. But both are fine. Like, I would say figure out some way to do both, honestly, because Mardi Gras got its own charm, but it depends. If you only got one cruise to go on next year, you got to really get down to brass tacks what turns you on when it comes to cruising and make your best choice then. So good question. What is my favorite cocktail? So Lester, I don't really drink that much. Interesting poll I did on the community. 75% of the people drink when they go on cruises, either casually or not casually. 25% don't. I fall more so in the 25% that don't. It's kind of more like, like on the Wonder, I think I had like 2 beers. Like I had, it was really hot in the casino one night and they were giving me warm water, like bottled water. And then eventually I said, all right, well, let me see if I can get a cold beer, because that finally broke through being hot. When I was on NCL, we had drinks included, and so I started trying some of the different cocktails. And my personal, it goes back. It doesn't matter. But I try not to ever be drunk. Like I'm not a big fan of being drunk. So I know that I have low impulse control, and so if I start drinking, a lot of times I end up being drunk. So I can't like just drink because I enjoy the drink, and I'm always trying to avoid being drunk. But with all that said, we had the drink package as part of our deal on Norwegian, and I tried a couple things, and one thing I tried that I really enjoyed would be the sidecar. And so I guess if I had to pick a drink, the sidecar. That was a long way to get around to say the sidecar. If I'm drinking beer, I like Dos Equis Lager, and I like Heineken. How about that? What's your favorite beer? Leave a comment below. Moscow Mule. I see that Pearl Disciple 481. That's what I would say. That's probably Jenny's favorite drink. Jenny was drinking a lot of virgin mojitos. She liked the mojitos without the rum. Is rum what's in a mojito? And then, but she's a big Moscow Mule person too. Let me jump over here. Laura Allen, thank you so much for the super chat. I guess we are your number 3 fans. Hey, look, I don't really. Even though people are claiming number 1, I love you all the same. That's what I'm trying to say. Laura Allen, thank you so much for the super chat. We're your number 3 fans from Laura, Bob, and from Chicago. By the way, we're praying for Don. Thank you so much. Yeah, man, that guy's resilient. He's been kicking booty, and he's gone through some stuff. And so I fully anticipate him to continue to kick some booty. Sharon Stockman, thank you so much for the super chat. Will y'all ever do a group cruise on Royal Caribbean? I am loyal to Royal, but would love to do a group cruise with y'all. I don't know. Like, I don't guess we have one booked. What do we got? We got Prima. We got the Horizon. We got a Norwegian. We got to do it. I mean, at some point, if we don't, look, I'll make that commitment. If we don't have a Royal Caribbean booked, then we will at some point, because I think that would be fun. Rob says, are vaccines still required to cruise? Yes, for most cruise lines, vaccines required to cruise. How was the brewery on the Mardi Gras? I did not try it. I did have the food there at the barbecue place. It was good. Again, I don't drink. I don't drink a whole lot. My mom's in the house. What's up, Mama? Love you. Everybody give some love to my beautiful mother, Sharon Medlin. Let's see. What happened to Don? So Don is a cancer survivor, Luke, and he goes back frequently to have scans and stuff, and they saw something on his latest lung scan, and so he has to go back for a follow-up tonight. So we're trying to have some positive thoughts for our man Don. Jenny with the coffee. Let me get some of this in me. Ooh, Uber Cruisers, yeah. So Dirty Banana, that was new because I guess we had the drink package on Princess also. And there were a lot of people in the group. I think Scott McNeil kept having the Dirty Banana. And so I was watching a game show one night, and let me try that Dirty Banana. It just tasted like chocolate and banana. It was pretty good. They make these drinks that really could wreck you, I guess, because they make them taste like there's no alcohol in them. Lisa Kruger, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for the response. Absolutely love the show and recommend to everybody straightforward, honest, factual, and fair. I'm going to make that my tagline. Oasis and Captain Tor Grimstead are my favorite. Royal Caribbean has an amazing loyalty program. Thank you for all that info, and thank you for the kind words, Lisa. MJM2, thank you so much for the super chat. Do you anticipate further consolidations of ship lines? We haven't really seen it, right? Azamara got sold off out of Royal. So not really a consolidation. They rolled off to an investment company. I haven't really seen anybody consolidate. That was a lot of the speculation during the shutdown. Maybe somebody buys the Crystal brand. Wouldn't that be a brand that would be up for sale? Now, who knows what the disposition of those cruise ships are going to be? If those cruise ships have to be sold to pay off creditors, can you keep them all together? But the brand should have value on its own without the cruise hardware. So it'd be interesting to see if one of the bigger companies like a Carnival Corp or Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, it would be an interesting, I don't know if Norwegian's got the scratch for that, but it would be interesting to see somebody revive Crystal because Crystal has a huge fan base. They just had bad luck there. So that's a great question, but I don't know how it'll play out. We'll keep watching. Jonathan Branch, thank you so much for the super sticker. We're number one. Very kind words.
Super chat.
All right, everything jumped. Might as well jump. What happened to the show name Cruise News and Views? It's there. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. I'm kind of funny like that. I like to try stuff and see how it's responded to, if anybody notices, that kind of thing. So obviously you noticed. That's good feedback. Thank you so much. Good question, Paul. I mean, you could be asking like, what happened to the logo for the cruise news show? I liked that one for a while too. Let's see, Ginger. I saw a recent video where a lot of people weren't happy with their cruise. Can you elaborate on why? I don't know who's happy, who's not happy. I think that video was more about what do you do when you're not happy on your cruise? Do you complain? Do you not complain? There were people that were dissatisfied with the Wonder. I think a lot of that's been aired out though, so no need to rehash it. But no, interesting question. Eddie Panero, thank you so much for the super chat. Was a lemon with hard eyes? Very nice, very nice.
Super chat.
Matthew Schneider, how many cruise line private islands have you visited? Any standouts? I've been to Perfect Day at Coco Cay. I've been to Disney's, which is called Castaway Cay. I have been to MSC's, which is called Ocean Cay. I think I've been to Mahogany Bay. I mean, the standouts, honestly, is Perfect Day is amazing, right? It's built like a little theme park there. MSC had the wonderful light show with their lighthouse, and then the whole Disney private island was beautiful. I mean, just everywhere that you walked, it was just beautiful, beautiful vistas, beautiful things to look at. There were Disney characters everywhere. It was a full-on Disney experience, and it was like, you know, beaches and all that stuff. I would think if you're not a Disney fan, the private island that you want to try would be Perfect Day at Coco Cay. Good question. Aaron P.L. Tony, a question, Tony. When sailing Royal with the 3-night dining package, I read that you get $20 credit for Playmakers. My question is, do you get that credit only once or do you get it every time? I would think on the, make sure you use that credit because the food was pretty interesting at Playmakers. I think you would only get it once. I'm looking at a cruise later in this year, and I'm definitely booking the Ultimate Dining Package. The cool thing about the Ultimate Dining Package is if you do it right, you know, you can eat a lot, you know, get a lot of use out of that Ultimate Dining Package. I would think for the 3-day package, you could only use that $20 one time. But if you had the Ultimate Dining Package, you could use it a lot. So my pro tip for the Ultimate Dining Package is if you are on the Ultimate Dining Package, go to Azumi and get sushi like midday every day, and then go to your specialty dining later. Angie Levitt with the question, what kind of coffee do you drink? I'm trying to learn to drink black coffee. So I found out that I can drink the Starbucks iced coffee black. I like the taste of that. But Dunkin', I still need the sweetener because the coffee's not as good. So we normally do cream and liquid sugar, which, we're on the Weight Watchers journey. Hey, let me just give a quick shout out. So we're 70 days into our weight loss journey, and I know not everybody follows Have to Lose, but we are getting smaller as cruisers. Jenny lost 25 pounds in the 70 days, and I lost close to 20 pounds. And we've been following the program. And so, like, back to the coffee, though, if I can learn to drink, I get 65 points a day, right? So I have to track all my food. I have some food that's 0 points, like grilled chicken and potatoes, stuff like that. But this coffee here is about 10 points on Weight Watchers. That's like 1/6 of my points. And if I do that twice in a day, I've spent, you know, a lot of points on coffee. But if I can drink the black coffee, it's 0 points. So we're getting there. We're getting there, right? And I got a big goal now. My brother and I don't know if he's here tonight, but we made a plan to do some traveling together. I think it was in 170 days. And I've got to lose 110 pounds for that 170 days. So, yeah, there's a lot going on. Like, we joined the gym. There's stuff going on. But, yeah, it's pretty exciting. Yeah, so I see Governor Trublet. Yeah, it's every visit with the Ultimate Dining Package, but I think it's only one time with the Limited Dining Package. If I had to guess, how long do I think COVID testing will still be required? I don't know. Like, hopefully by the end of the year. Again, it's a numbers thing. If the cruise lines are seeing, I wish we had the data, right? From a business analyst perspective, from a data nerd perspective, I wish we had the data. Every cruise line, some bean counter somewhere, that's a negative name. Some data analyst somewhere knows how many people are getting turned away because of pre-cruise testing, and if they find that to be valuable enough, to keep those cases off the board, off the ship, then they'll keep doing it. Hopefully it gets to a place where it's negligible and they'll get rid of the testing, but hopefully by the end of the year. That'd be cool. I think that would be cool. I think we could all love that. Sharon Stockman, thank you for another super chat. You're very kind, very kind. So proud of you. And Jenny, you can use a Splenda instead of liquid sugar. Hard to tell. look, we're sugar people. So I do appreciate that. We've used monk fruit. We've used Splenda. We've used all kinds of stuff. We've tried to put protein drink in there. We can always tell. That's the hardest thing when you love something so much that when you try to switch it up, it's hard to trick your brain. Like I drink Diet Mountain Dew because I never drank Mountain Dew before, and that was the only thing that got me off of regular Coke. I couldn't go to Diet Coke because it tasted so weird. I know sodas are horrible. This was back in the day. I don't drink much Diet Mountain Dew anymore because it almost killed me. I feel like, well, I shouldn't put that on Diet Mountain Dew. But let me erase all of that. Nothing almost killed me. But I'm just saying, when I tried to transition out of drinking Coke Classic, I had to go to Diet Mountain Dew because it was a completely new thing. And so I think going to black coffee, learning to drink black coffee, I got to do that because these artificial sweeteners aren't working for me. They're not working for me, you know what I'm saying? Jenny likes the sugar-free Coke Zero. The original version of Coke Zero, I only have one kidney. The original version of Coke Zero used to kill me, kill my kidney. No soda from NDB in 10 months. Very nice. Very nice. That's right, Tropical Tom. Any negative, I wasn't indicting any soda for my almost dying. It was my gallbladder. Question, what are your favorite YouTube cruise channels that you watch? Gosh, I like so many of them. I'm not going to name them because I think that's unfair for me. If I miss one, then somebody will be like, ha. I watch as many as I can. I sub to as many people as I can, and then when they're in my feed, I watch as many as I can. I would suggest you do the same. How about that? What's one thing you're looking forward to on the Island Princess? Thank you in advance. It's a small ship. I like that it's got a nice walking deck. We watched a tour of it the other day. We have watched some videos of the Panama Canal. I have yet to start reading the David McCullough book. I watched the very good video by Tips for Travelers today on the do's and don'ts of the Panama Canal. I feel pretty good though, because he said there was some mistakes that you can make, and I have not made those mistakes yet. We're going through the old locks. I'm just excited to have 14 days on a small cruise ship. Hopefully the internet's fast. That's all I'm saying. If this is going to be the best trip ever, if the speed of the internet on the Island Princess is the same as it was on the Sun Princess, this is going to be the best 14 days ever. Get to hang out with Don, get to hang out with the people that have decided to book with Don, get to hang out with Jenny. You know, we can squirrel away and do our own thing. And yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think that's just the thing, seeing Don, hanging out with Jenny, and going through these. I'm trying to get fired up for the canal. I booked excursions at all the ports. I'm looking forward to going to places I've never gone to before. I don't know specifically about the ship what I'm looking forward to. I just like the Princess ship, so that should be kind of fun. Kind of fun. Good question. I lost who asked it. I'm sorry. Lynn M, thank you so much for the super chat. You should do a group cruise on Royal to Canada from Cape Liberty, different ship, different port itinerary. Yeah, I would love that. Like, that's one of the itineraries. I wonder if they would swing the Oasis up north. We go from Liberty all the way up into Canada. I would definitely do that. Sounds like a fall group cruise. We're down. I'm down with the sickness. Thank you so much for the super chat. The Sis Admin, thank you so much for the super chat. So back to the Ultimate Diner package. Is the Zumi considered a la carte, or can you go as often as you want with the packages? So every time that I go, they have a package menu, which is a small plate, a large plate. I think it's an appetizer, a small plate, and a large plate. So yeah, you can go more than once, but I think it still all follows under the appetizer, small plate, large plate. So I don't think you could just order like a bunch of nigiri or something like that. But there is a large plate that is a bunch of nigiri or sashimi. So yeah, every time I go there, you know, I'll say, look, I got the ultimate dining package. I don't really want the app or the small plate. I just want that big future. I can't remember what the cool roll is, but that's the way I normally do it. Question, how hard is it to get to the show times and the dinner times that you want with Royals? It's hard. So Ryan Flanagan, here's my new Royal tip. This was a big thing that I picked up. I've cruised Royal a lot since the restart. And so in these scenarios where you're going to get on cruise ships where there's more and more people on board, get an early check-in time. And as soon as you check in, you have to go and get your dinners reserved and your shows reserved, or you're going to run into trouble, especially with the specialty dining. So if you've gone through the hassle, it's not a hassle. If you've gone through the process of buying the ultimate dining package well in advance, and you make the mistake of getting a 2:30 check-in time, you're going to have trouble getting dinner reservations at a time that you want. And so this is the first thing that I would do. I might even do it before the muster drill. Now, do the muster drill in a timely fashion, but if you can get an early check-in, go right to the restaurant, get all of your dining booked, book your shows, and then get your muster drill done. Toot sweet, and then get your drink and your food, because that's going to be the biggest annoyance on these royal cruises that require reservations. Nothing's worse than not being able to get the restaurant that you want at the time that you want. It's a good question, Ryan. Let's see. Oh, everything jumped. Sharon with another super chat. Thank you so much. It is hard to transition. I had to transition when I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I went from Coke Classic to Diet Pepsi. I'm the same way. Can't stand Diet Coke or Coke Zero. Yeah. Had to trick my brain into getting off of, I love Coke Classic. Mindy B, thank you so much for the super chat.
Super chat.
Is there a difference between Princess K's and Half Moon K? Truth cool. I think so. Isn't that different islands? Princess K and Half Moon K. I know I've gone to Half Moon K. I feel like I've gone on both, a Princess ship and a Carnival ship. But I feel like Half Moon K is primarily, I don't know. I think Princess K is something different. Somebody help me out with that. It seems like there should be. Mark Fucci, any lifting of the vaccination? I think maybe at some point. I would be surprised if the vaccines got lifted in 2022. That's probably my conservative answer. I'm along the lines of I'm really not speculating on it until I see it happen, and I haven't seen it happen anywhere yet. So with cruising, I know it's happened in other places like New York, that kind of thing, but in my mind, the answer I always give is like, yeah, I think we're gonna have vaccines for at least the rest of 2022. Because I don't see any indicators that it's going away. John Henderson, any future plans for Discovery Princess? I did see that she, I'll probably cover it in the news tomorrow. She did make it to LA. And I want to wait till she's cruised a few times. I'm so jaded for the inaugural cruise now. My favorite cruise line, honestly, Royal Caribbean. And I ended up a little jaded about inaugural cruises. Again, I try to only cruise a cruise ship one time. And so it's either good the one time or I don't get to do it again. And so I think Discovery Princess, I want somebody to go on, I want to watch another vlogger go on it, and because it's not really important to me to be first, right? Because that's not really what the show is anymore. We do the news and we talk about topical things. It's not important that I'm the first vlogger anywhere. And so, yeah, I just want to go on good cruises that I feel like I'm getting value for my money. And so Discovery Princess could be in my future, but it might be 6 months after she's out, that kind of thing. Good question. Angie Lovett started WW because of us. I hope you do well. Stick with it. Follow the program. Don't get down on yourself if you don't do well. There's always tomorrow. That's my pep talk. How about that? How about that? Do you like it like that? Christina V's all on a New York cruise. Yeah, I'd like to go to New York. I've never spent that much time in the city. Jenny's from Long Island. We've gone up there for a couple things, but I would still love to go to New York for a week and stay in the city and go to the comedy scene and hit all the museums and go to some shows there. So I think in New York, a week in New York and then a cruise north on a group cruise, that sounds pretty nice. Book that, Jenny. When can we go? Question. Jonathan, was the Wonder of the Seas really that bad? I've never had a cruise that's bad. I think the word that I used was disappointed, and I was disappointed in the half-baked entertainment. So again, I've never been on a cruise that's bad. I think it would be hard for cruising to be bad, but I was disappointed. And again, I think I was more disappointed in myself. If you watch that video and you really give it a fair shake, I think I said pretty clearly that I personally had set unreasonable expectations because I really anticipated that it would be a big deal would be made of that being the first sailing, and that everything, that if I was doing something for the first time, I would really go out of my way to make it a thing. And then of course everybody after the fact were super wise, oh, don't ever go on an inaugural if you want it to be wonderful. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks for the information after the fact. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I had a good time, got to see a lot of people, wonderful cruising. But the thing that I really like about going on the Oasis class ship, a Broadway play, a fully baked ice skating show, a fully baked aqua theater show, really when we went on the Oasis of the Seas, I'd have to go back and review the footage. We got a Broadway show. I think we got 2 more production shows in the theater by the singers and the dancers. We got a big old aqua theater show. We got a ice skating show. We also got the singers from the Broadway show in the jazz club. It was fan-freaking-tastic from an entertainment perspective, and I just thought it was going to be as good as that. And again, I think it was my fault for setting an unrealistic expectation, and it's a lesson learned. But did I have a good cruise still? Sure. Was the service amazing? Were the people cool? Yes. And I did say all that in the video, but Yeah, man, the Royal Loyal. I love you guys because I'm one of you, basically. But, you know, it's so funny to me when people get mad for me giving my honest opinion. How dare you give your opinion, you dummy? I'm like, okay. I would actually feel like a dummy if I was dishonest with you guys. Question from Kathy. With main dining room taking up to 2 hours to go through the entire meal, if you book your shows, are you guaranteed to get a seat? Yeah, I mean, if you got a reservation, they're gonna let you in. I don't know if I haven't been to a place where it's all full, like if that's what you're worried about. But make sure you make a plan. Like I always try to leave a gap. If we're going to the 9 o'clock show, I'm leaving a 3-hour gap between dinner. So if I'm going at 9, I'm trying to eat at least by 6 o'clock. You know, I would rather be in the theater early waiting than sweating whether or not to have dessert. And so you got to plan all that stuff together. And so, you know, the other thing that you could do is always go to the early show and then eat late. But I don't like the eating to cut into my casino time. So I'm a 5 or 6 o'clock eater, and then the later show, and then casino. So you got to make a plan. You got to make a plan. Let's see. Question from Maturely Glam. Do you think we'll be disappointed going on Independence in 3 weeks after going on the Harmony last week? I don't know what all you got to do on the Harmony. Independence is definitely a different ship, but I like those smaller ships just as much as I like the big ship. Yeah, I mean, certainly, if you saw the Aqua Show and you're going to be like, oh, dang, now I'm bummed out because I'm not getting an Aqua Show, it could be. But set your mind right before you go in. Like, it's just going to be a different thing. The entertainment's going to be different. I think you'll still have a great time. I don't think I don't think you'll be too disappointed. Crazy Cat Traveler questions when protocols will be released for Alaska sailings with Canada Easy. I think they released some. I haven't really dug deep into them, but I think the cruise protocols are out there. So yeah, check. But I'm pretty sure that they made the rules for cruising. So we'll have to see how the cruise lines adjust or if they adjust. Russ R, thank you so much for the super chat. He's super chatty. K Fouts question: we are booked on the Carnival Jubilee January the 24th. Didn't want to do the inaugural. At what point would you recommend we buy travel insurance now, or can we make final payments? It's a great question, right? So if you have any pre-existing medical condition, I'm not an insurance expert. Let me put the disclaimer out here. And so I can't really tell you when or how to buy insurance. So that's not what I'm doing. But I know that some of the insurance, if you have a pre-existing medical condition, you have to buy it at the point that you spend the first money, like the deposit. And if you want to buy cancel anytime insurance, you also have to buy that when you make the first money payment on some insurance policies. So it just depends what kind of insurance you're getting. If you're, for us, we bought an annual plan through a third party, so I don't have to worry about this anymore because I always have it. But previously, when I didn't have that and I wasn't worried about cancel anytime and I didn't have medical conditions, I would wait till almost like the week of the cruise to buy it. So again, you got to fit that. I'm not a one-size-fits-all scenario, but you have to take all those things into consideration when you're making your decision. I hope that was helpful without me being too prescriptive. David Bartash, thank you so kindly for the super chat. Greetings from the Carnival Radiance in Ensenada. It was raining today and our excursion was canceled. Sorry, man. By the way, we found out that we can still ask for a specific serving team when using My Time Dining. That's nice. You go to the same table every night. Is that how you get them? That's very cool. This is an interesting conversation. I guess. I got some programming notes to talk about too. When we had Griff and Alyssa on last Thursday, they talked about they like the main dining room because those were the crew members that they interface with the most. Me personally, the crew members I interface with the most, craps dealers. But I like this idea that if you want to have the same dining room servers every night, you can do that even with anytime dining by asking for the same table or asking for the same team. And that's also helpful if you're somebody who likes to tip extra at the end of the cruise, tip beyond your assigned gratuities. Having the same dining room team makes that easier because you can wait until the last night to give them some tip. Very cool, David. Sorry your excursion got canceled. Jeff Hansen, wow, thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind. Thanks for supporting the creativity. Thanks for the daily. Absolutely. I love it. I love making the cruise content on the daily basis. Sometimes, though, I'm doing it 7 days a week. I feel like for a long time I've been doing it for 7 days a week. So I've really got to find a way to get some stuff in the can. And I think the CDC numbers is a good one. I thought that was a good video. Faceless video is not, it was weird, but the whole thing was scripted, which I don't normally script. Most of the videos, I just have a few ideas and then I just talk and then I edit stuff out that I don't like until I get to the show that I like. But this script, it was pretty wild. I wrote the script in about 20 minutes. I recorded it in about 10 minutes, and it was pretty much good. You know, I still had to go find all that B-roll and go to the stock video sites and pull all that stuff and go to my own camera and pull out pictures that were mine. I had to go get pictures of 20 different cruise ships, 22 different cruise ships. It was actually maybe more work than doing the daily show, but I think I could do that during the week. I digress. Thank you for the super chat, Jeff. Thanks for the love for the daily show. Much appreciated. Angie, love it. Thank you. Love it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very kind. I started Weight Watchers this week. We're also cruising on April 16th on Princess to Mexican Riviera because of your channel. I appreciate the honest content and your sense of humor. Great stuff. Thank you so much. I'd love to hear. Come back on a live after that and let us know how your Princess cruise was. I think you'll dig it. Look, we have not been to the Mexican Riviera yet, but we're trying to remedy that. I don't know. It seems like we might be in Los Angeles on the West Coast sometime in May, so there could be a West Coast cruise. I'm trying not to announce any of the cruises because the thing is, sometimes when we announce cruises, people book them and then we have to cancel cruises, so we've kind of decided not to do that. But there is a good chance that we will be on a West Coast cruise in May. But don't book anything, just in case we cancel. Russ R., thank you so much for the super chat. Just want to say thanks for organizing this community. It provided much needed outlet mentally this past week while on NCL Escape. Was able to post the entire ordeal on Facebook. Yeah, Russ, thank you so much for posting all that. I just read some of your final updates. Did you make it home? Everybody, this is Russ R. He's been keeping, if you're not a part of the La Lido Loca cruising community, it's about 18,000 people there. So we really, the Blue Crew, a lot of the Blue Crews over there adminning posts and trying to keep people from fighting. People are going to fight. It's so annoying. Like, there's times where I just want to shut down that Facebook community because I can't police everybody trying to be nice to each other. Like, I saw two ladies fighting today, and I was like, why are you fighting? Could you just stop fighting? But that's a heck of an endorsement, right? Please come join the Facebook community. But honestly, if you want to get over there, share some of your pictures, get your questions answered, come to the La Lido Loca cruising community on Facebook. We have a page, which is helpful if you join the page. Facebook looks at page and group differently. So if you could join the La Lido Loca Facebook page, that would be great. Join the community. That would also be great. That way you could post your own stuff. The Facebook page, we post our stuff. And then if you want to stay up to date with what's going on with La Lido Loca Travel, that's Jenny B's site, La Lido Loca Travel, and she has a page over there also. So I'm not trying to give you too much homework, but while we're doing it, follow us on Instagram. We're trying to get to 20,000. I think we're at 14. How about that? All right. I think I got all the super chat. No, yeah, got all the super chats. Thanks again, Russ. Appreciate it. Sliding down to the bottom. Gonna have some coffee. Uh-oh, Lisa's doing some work. Lisa Kruger, Oasis has 2 5-night cruises out of Bayonne to Halifax and parts north. Let's do it. Love to see all of you as well. Yeah, 5 nights. I mean, sometimes we're hesitant to make a group cruise for just 5 nights, but again, we're trying to shoot for smaller group cruises. So man, if we could get like maybe 20 or 30 people, that would be, I'd like it something tight like that. Interesting. What's the dates on that, Lisa? Is that this year? Since you're doing the homework. Thank you so much for the super chat. Question, have you seen unlimited dining available on 3-day cruise with RCL for lunch? It doesn't have C days. I've never seen that, Kenya. Again, I haven't booked a lot of 3-day cruises, and so all of my Royal cruises are usually 7 days. I've never looked at that. Fishy Neil, confirming. Oh, June. We got some big gaps in the calendar this year. June. Do we stick another group? I don't think we can stick another group cruise in there. I don't know. Robert Murphy, hey brother, call Harmony of the Seas next week. Eastern Caribbean, can't wait. You're going on that's awesome, Robert. That'd be a good one. Question from Thomas Thornhill. Are there models available of cruise ships? Yes. I'm headed on a Carnival ship soon. Yeah, that's always, hit the gift shop early in your voyage because sometimes those sell out. I know when we were on the Mardi Gras back in October, toward the end of the week, there was a couple that was with us that were like, man, do you know anybody that has an extra ship model? Because the thing is sold out. But yeah, I almost started collecting them. I tell you what, I wish I had on the Carnival Fantasy. Like, you can only get that one on eBay now, and I think that's multi-thousands of dollars for what would have been 40 or 50 bucks at the time. Deborah Blankenship, thank you for the super chat. Good evening. Good evening. What's happening? Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Terry Faulkner, does vlogging on a cruise ever feel like work? Yeah, certainly it does. Like if you're really going to be a hardcore vlogger, like you're going to vlog all your experiences, it's a lot different than just being a vacationing tourist. And so, yeah, it could be work. The way I look at cruising for me right now is I dedicate half my day to working, like especially if I'm just doing the cruise news show, and then I dedicate the other half of my day to cruising. And, you know, if I was only going to take 1 cruise a year or 2 cruises a year, I wouldn't do that, right? I would just go cruising. But since I'm going to take 8 to 10 to 15 to 20, who knows? I'm happy to work during all that time. I just look at it as moving my office and working somewhere else, getting to live that cruise life. And so I feel very fortunate that way, but, you know, I think that may be hard. So I did the poll, how many times do you cruise a year? 98% of you guys that watch the videos only cruise 2 or less times. And I don't say that in a bad way. It just helps me level set my thinking, and maybe it will help you level set your thinking. So if you're a 1 or 2 time cruiser a year and you can't imagine going on a cruise and working and vlogging and all that stuff, well, think about it if you went a bunch, and the way that you could go a bunch was by doing that work. So that's really the scenario that we're in. If I was a 1 or 2 time cruiser a year, I don't think I would try to do anything but just enjoy that cruise. But since I might be, you know, would I go 8 in the last, you know, at the end of 2021? Yeah, I got to work, right? Like the other thing about being a small business owner here in the US and a small business owner, like I don't have vacation time, vacation pay as it were. And so I don't work, you know, the revenue stops. And so that's the bag that I've chose to carry, so I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying, just to give you some insight into the mindset, like why am I working on a cruise? Is because, well, I kind of got to. But is that bad? I don't think so, especially if all the tools are there for me. If I got fast internet and I have a great place to work and a great place to film that doesn't have copyrighted music, I'm living my best life ever. Cruising in the morning, or working in the morning and cruising the rest of the day. So it's a pretty, I feel super blessed. Super blessed. Hashtag super blessed. Good question. D Hicks 3406. I paid $35 for the, yeah, it's like somewhere between 35 and some bigger models. I've seen $50-$60. Yeah, David with the verification there, the models on the Radiance cruise were sold out by the first night. Yeah, you got to get in, get early. The wild thing, like when I was on the Disney cruise, I guess they have some limited merch also, because on the first night when the stores open, people just bum rush the stores to get all kinds of stuff. Lisa's answer, May the 28th, 2023, and June the 5th, 2022, 5-night to New England. All right. Do I have my phone? I have to, oh yeah, I do have my phone. I'm gonna take a picture of that. I tell you, that's a cruise I would love to take, you know. I mean, I don't know if we want to make it a group cruise, but that's take a picture of that. All right. Ooh, Lori Barber did something that she wants to be slapped for if she ever does it again. I'll have to see what that was. Question, going to Freeport in May. Any suggestions for things to do? It's our only port. I haven't found anything. The only thing I've ever done in Freeport is go to Senior Frogs, and my brother danced on the bar. That was probably the best fun I ever had in Freeport. We went to Senior Frogs, got a Bahama Mama. It was like one of our earliest cruises, so we were trying to do the things, right? We had the Bahama Mama, and then my brother got in a dance contest, and he shook his moneymaker on the bar. It was great. I think do an excursion, but like you said, what excursion are you going to do? Maybe they take you to a beach or something like that. I don't know. Salt Life Cruising, do you think NCL will still require vaccinations for the vlogger group cruise in January 2023? My default answer is yes. Like, there's no indication that vaccine requirements are going away. And so until there's a hint of it, I think I'm just going to say yes, plan on it. But maybe they won't. Let's see. Are the showers saltwater? Not that I've experienced. I'm pretty sure there's a salination process that makes it regular water. No, I think pools, right? The swimming pool is the only thing that you get salt water in sometime. Yeah, Marielle and Dylan works on the cruises too. Just means you get a few more cruises each year. Absolutely. Jack says, will we ever cruise out of Galveston on any cruise? We have. We cruised out of Galveston on the Vista. It wouldn't surprise me if we went back to Galveston again. The challenge for us is we moved down here to Florida. So if I'm going to go to Cozumel, or if I'm going to go to any of the Caribbean islands, I should just go out of Florida, right? It doesn't make sense for me to go to Galveston. But maybe if we, you know, if there's enough people and we did a group cruise again, maybe we go to Galveston. But it doesn't make sense, honestly, unless there was just some banging ship that we wanted to go on or something like that. Erica W, is it hard not to vlog because you feel like you missed something good? No. I feel like what I realized over the pandemic is my strength is in being a personality a little bit, telling a story, moving my arms, moving my eyes. I like to have B-roll of things on cruise ships so that I can enhance my stories. You know, all the gurus say you can't just be a talking head for 10 minutes at a time. I try to do that. I watch the numbers to see if you guys respond to when I stick videos and graphics on top of me, or if you guys will watch me. Yeah, no, I like not vlogging much better than I like vlogging. You know, we did a lot of cruise vlogs. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of planning, that kind of thing. I like better cruising, enjoying my cruise experience, and being able to tell you guys about my cruising experience, opposed to holding the camera in front of my face all the time. Like, can you imagine every meal that you go to, you're carrying a big camera with you? It's a lot. It's a lot. Good question. Let's see. Slinky, yes. One reason we would go to Galveston would be to see Slinky and Matt in their home turf again. How was the gym on the Wonder? I didn't use the gym on the Wonder. I got no idea. I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it's state of the art. Let's see. That's right. Yeah, if we went to Galveston, we'd have a big meetup. We had a nice meetup at a barbecue joint there. First time we ever met Robin Favor of Life of Favor. Let's see. Douglas Kaufman, first cruise to Alaska in 2023. Been a bucket list for years. Appreciate your mix of news and cruising vids. You're one of my favorites as I began to plan for my first sailing. Oh, awesome, Douglas, man. I hope you enjoy it. Again, I was tongue-in-cheek saying that I thought I would be bored in Alaska. I liked Alaska quite a bit just because it wasn't so freaking hot. Like, I was happy to be getting rained on and not having to deal with sand. That's me, right? I know other people are more fun in the sun and beachy than I am. But yeah, Alaska was right. It had all the cruising stuff. We had this naturalist, and I mean no disrespect toward this naturalist, but he was like a wild man that lived by himself on an island. Maybe he was raised by wolves. I don't know that he said that, but man, he had like this vibe about him and this crazy voice, and he just seemed like a man. And it was the first time I'd ever seen that. That was an enhancing thing to the Alaska trip too. Always go listen to the naturalist. Sharon Stockman, thank you kindly for the flow of super chats. I'm booked in a Star Class suite on Harmony out of Galveston in December 2023, half the price of Symphony out of Miami. Can't wait to try out the Star Class. I mean, that's an appealing thing, right? We would have to pay to travel over there, but yeah, if you can get it cheaper and it's easier to get to, get on it. That's a good deal. Thank you for the super chat.
Super chat.
Are we planning on who asked that? Free Willy, are we planning on the Prima? Yeah, we do have a group cruise on the Prima. I'm sure the Blue Crew's been dropping the link. I think we got like 5 group cruises left in 2022, 2023, and then there may never be another one. But yeah, so if you want to go cruising with us, the Prima's on the list, the NCL Escape is on the list, the Carnival Horizon is on the list, the Carnival Celebration is on the list, and the NCL, whatever the Vlogger cruise is on. I think those are the ships, so make sure you jump on it. Lido Loca fan number 365. Yes, I mean, if you're a fan, you would know that I've been on Harmony of the Seas. I went on Harmony of the Seas we went on the Joy in December. NCL Joy, maskless, beautiful, great cruise. Then Omicron hit like a wave, and then I went on Harmony to see what it was like during the Omicron cruising period. And there was no grease. There was a lot of restricted stuff. But I wasn't disappointed on that one because I knew that we were going to run into all that. But yes, I was on the Harmony of the Seas. I love it. I love all those Oasis class ships. And you need to watch more videos if you're really a fan. Let's see. Dwayne says, nobody likes to talk first-time cruiser, can't get question answered. Have you typed question in front of your question? I haven't seen it. If you don't get your question answered, please don't take it personally. There's like a cajillion things running through here. Maybe drop your question at the end, but yeah, don't take it personally, everybody. It is what it is. I think I've been answering questions nonstop for an hour 40. So, let's see. There was a question for Carla McClendon. How about that? Have I flown out of San Juan? If so, how was it? I've never flown out of San Juan. I've only flown into Nassau and out of Nassau, Bahamas. That was fine, but never San Juan. Tropical Tom Garcia, is that 3-hour live chat still up on YouTube for us to watch a 3rd or 4th? Yes. Yeah, if you guys want to see another big session of questions answered, go to last Sunday, 3.5 hours. I don't think I'm staying long that night tonight. I think our friends Parrot DJ go live at 8. So I'm going to try to get out of their way. Man, I hope we get to 1,000 likes. How many people are in here? You guys can do it. I trust that you can do it. Oh, yeah. 989,000 people. Hit the like button, for goodness sakes. If you're getting some value out of this entertainment here, please hit the like button and make sure you are subscribed. Our next milestone is 160,000 subscribers. We're getting pretty close. We're inside 700, I think. Question from Valerie. Do you know if they have vaccinated area versus non-vaccinated still? No. No wristband on the Wonder. No vaccinated versus non-vaccinated. That has gone away. Tillian Silvermoon with a question. Do you and Jenny find it challenging being recognized so much more when on cruises? Yeah, it's a new process for us. Jenny's just now getting used to it. And then when we were on the Wonder with 4,200 people, it's interesting. I mean, it's part of what we do. And so first, we're super grateful that people recognize us and that they like us and that they want to talk to us. But when you're doing that, like when you constantly have to be on, and I'm introverted, Jenny's introverted a little bit when it comes to strangers. Like she's good with strangers, but not for long periods of time, right? And so if you're getting into hour 6 or 7 or 8 of not being able to walk 10 feet without being stopped, you're like, wow, I got to escape somewhere. And sometimes you just want to go and just sit and have a slice of pizza. And you want to not have to hide in your room to have a slice of pizza. And so it's something that we're learning. Again, I share it with you just because you guys are asking. I'm not complaining about it. I'm super excited the fact that people love us. But it's something new to learn. I think I talked about it last week. Just imagine if you were at Wendy's or your favorite place to go eat, and then just somebody comes up and talks to you for 15 minutes that you don't know from anybody. Like, hey, I recognize you. I know you. What's going on in your life? This is where, you have to learn how to deal with that because they know everything. You guys know a lot about us, but we don't really know anything about anybody that walks up to us. And so it's an interesting thing to manage, I guess is the best way. And again, it's exciting because it's great for the ego, right? That means you like us, like the old Sally Field thing. You like me, you really like me. And so it's balancing that out. Good question. 1,000 likes. I'm sure there's going to be some ne'er-do-wells like, oh, he doesn't like people to talk to him. That's right, Maria. It's weird. Like, I don't think we think of ourselves as famous, but we are cruise famous, I guess, or social media famous or whatever it is. Like, you really start to appreciate on a small level what people that are really well known kind of go through. Symphony of the Seas tips. Make sure you see the ice skating show, the Broadway show, and the Aqua Theater show. And then beyond that, make sure you take your daily program, highlight all the things that you want to do, and don't force yourself to do them all. What is there fun to do in Key West? Asked Scott. First port on Tuesday. The Pirate Museum is very interesting there. The world's best lobster roll that I've never had is at DJ's Clam Shack. It's world famous, and so if you're a fan of the lobster roll, a lot of the Loca fam have been there. Make sure you go try out DJ's Clam Shack and take your wallet because I have not taken my wallet the last time, and I didn't get it the first time. We did a hop-on, hop-off tour, but that was pretty fun, but I really did enjoy that Pirate Museum. If you like pirates at all, there's some really interesting things. Barb asked, what embarkation times, how is it done with Carnival? When you check in, they give you an embarkation time. Don't show up before your embarkation time. They may make you stay outside. So that's the easiest thing. How strict is Carnival on COVID testing? Like, I have the booster. I know it's 3 days prior, but I can test at midnight. Most of the cruise lines are just going by the day. So if your cruise is on Sunday and you have to test 2 days before the cruise, you can take your test Saturday or Friday. If your cruise is on Sunday and you have 3 days, it's either Saturday, Friday, or Thursday. So it's not based on what time of day. It's just based on the day. That's true for most cruise lines, but verify with your cruise line. Don't say that Tony told you that because they don't care. All right. Question, where can I find the list for your group cruises? There we go. Erica has posted it. Question, Mardi Gras back-to-back or Royal Caribbean for Coco Cay or Royal Caribbean going 223? It would depend on the Royal ship, I guess, for me. I'm not a big outside person, so the Coco Cay doesn't move me as much. Yeah, it depends on the ship. Mardi Gras did a really nice job. Like Carnival did a really nice job with Mardi Gras. It's a cool, new, modern ship with a lot of cool stuff on it. I would probably pick that possibly over an older Royal ship. But if it's if it's versus an Oasis class, I'm probably taking the Royal ship. Can you give advice on tipping when you prepay your tips? I don't want to be that guest. So Valerie, when you prepay your tips, you've basically done what the cruise lines asked you to do. So the cruise line said, look, some of our employees are gratuity-based employees. We are going to assign gratuities to you on a daily basis that will take care of your room steward and take care of your wait staff and take care of some people behind the scenes. That's the line from most of the cruise lines. Now it's completely up to you. So if you do that, you've basically done what the cruise lines have suggested that you do for employees. I don't know what percentage that turns out to be. I think a great many people want to give additional money than that. And that's really a personal thing for you. We always give our room steward extra money. Anytime I'm in the casino and I get a drink, I give the waiter extra money. We've tipped out wait staff before. We've given random money to people that have helped us out. Again, to me, I think there's something very beneficial about beneficial for the soul. Okay, we'll go deep. I feel there's something very beneficial about practicing giving away, right? So taking just some number that you may not even think that you can afford and say, look, I'm just going to give it away to be a blessing to somebody else. I think that's nourishing for our soul. I'm not saying that everybody should follow my philosophy, but definitely pay your assigned gratuities. I know not everybody believes in that, but I believe you're doing the right thing if you pay your assigned gratuities. And then just as an exercise, set apart a different amount of money and say, I'm going to give this away to somebody. The people that you're giving it to are going to be super blessed when you give it to them. So that's just kind of, again, that you've asked a question that I got all philosophical on. So how does everybody else do it? Do you give the extra money? Do you just give what you're assigned? Leave a comment below. Carrie Gill, question, will EMED be available on holiday? They're 24/7 by 365. So yeah, there's people that have tested on Christmas, all that stuff, unless things change. But that's the way it's currently been. Has MSC relaxed their mask mandate? Alex, oddly enough, I don't think I've seen MSC saying that they've relaxed their mask mandate. Anybody been on MSC? Is it no mask? I haven't seen a big announcement from them, so I feel like they have not. Little T, Cruise King, thank you so kindly. Recommendations, especially restaurants for Allure going August 20th. Park, 150 Park. It's a unique restaurant there, and then the sushi. That's what I would do for sure. Especially if you've already had Chops on another Royal restaurant. Chops is Chops, right? I would do the unique one, which would be, and if they have Wonderland, I don't know. Wonderland is so funky, man. You got to be into some funky food. A lot of people love it. I would have to try it again. Let's see. 12 minutes left. How about that? Yes, every cruise. So Coco Couture Crafts. Every cruise line right now out of the U.S. that I know of has a vaccine requirement. The Uber Cruiser, he lives in Australia. They don't have to do tipping. So you know how I feel about this, Ian. When in Rome, when I come to Australia, I'm not tipping anybody. I don't care because I don't want to offend anybody by going against the cultural norm. But I would say that anybody comes into the scenario where tipping is required, tip it up. That's the right thing to do. Yeah, like in Japan, it's offensive to tip. So like when we had sushi in Japan, we didn't tip. Question, I know you're not a big drinker, but is there anything to get anywhere to get a late drink on Royal Ship that is not the nightclub, the casino? Most of the time, the casino bar is one of the last bars to close down. Where's Jenny? She's in the chat. She's the Jenny B. Yeah, okay, so let me talk about the programming note. This is an impromptu live. You can always get Jenny on Tuesday night. So we have our Tuesday night Patreon live stream. So if you're a member of our Patreon, you get a special live stream. That's usually only 40 or 50 people. Like if you really want to, it's really a different vibe. It's pretty laid back. And so again, it's Patreon's $5 a month to join, help support the creativity. You can get an extra live stream. That's the big benefit for the $5 over there. And then that's 8 p.m., 9 o'clock. You got the regular Tuesday Night Live with Jenny and I. I've been doing these impromptu Sundays, just answering questions for a couple of hours at a time. I'm going to end this one in 10 minutes. And then on Thursday this week, I reached out to our friend Emma Cruzes, who we've not talked to in a while. And so I had to give an earlier time because she's 6 hours 4 hours ahead. 4 hours ahead. So at 4 p.m. on Eastern time, which would be 8 p.m. UK time, I'll be talking with Emma Cruises. I don't think I've talked to her since she's hit 100,000, at least in this format. And so that's the programming note for this week. We got the impromptu live today. We got the 2 live shows on Tuesday night. And then we've got the live with Emma on Thursday. So mark your calendars. How about that? Let's see. So, I see somebody asking, is the Sancho's pool heated? I don't think it is, actually. I mean, after a while, when everybody's drinking, it gets heated because people are peeing in the pool. That's what I'm trying to say. I probably didn't have to draw that direct of a line, but how about that? All right. Chuck Connors, will Shaq's Chicken Restaurant be finding its way to all Carnival? It's on the Radiance also, I think. I don't know. I mean, I think it's super successful. It's one of my favorite places on the favorite included food places. I like it better than Guys, actually. Please don't send me any hate mail. I like it better than Guys on the Mardi Gras, so it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. That's right. Ian baited me. That's all right, Ian. I got you, buddy. B-Stance, we have done a cruise out of Tampa. Let me throw it back on you. Why didn't you know that? How about that? We've cruised on the Carnival Paradise out of Tampa to Cuba. And then the reason we didn't do it since we moved here is because cruising was shut down. Of course, you knew that also. Let's see. That's right, Stephen Z. After a few purple rains, it is hot. Maria Reyes, I don't know what the NAAT test for COVID is. And B-Stance, you know I'm just messing with you. I think at some point we'll go out of Tampa again. But yeah, after we moved here, it didn't. Train driver Carl is a big Para DJ fan, I'm guessing. Are you going to give a minute-by-minute countdown? I would suggest not doing that. Let's see. Oh, do you ever, that's an interesting question, Abby 1. Do you ever get sea legs after a cruise? No, but I've heard about that, where you come back on land and you still feel like you're on a ship. And I've heard people that where it never goes away. I read an article about it one time. I was going to talk about it in a show, but yeah, it's interesting. Perfect. Is Mr. Sancho's cool for solo cruisers? Evelyn, there's going to be a lot of people there. Like, are you social? Are you looking to make a friend? Are you looking for like quiet, alone beach time? I mean, I think you could go there and get a beach chair by yourself. You're going to get the included food and the included drink, but there's going to be a party. Like in that pool, I talked to strangers. We went with a group, so I knew people there. That was fun. But then there was also strangers that we were talking to. So I think it depends how social you are or want to be. Sancho's pretty fun. And at least you know you're there with a big group of people, right? So sometimes when you're cruising solo, it's nice to be in a crowd, right? There's some safety in it. There you go. Fred's Model 3N, thank you so much for the super chat. Diamond Princess to San Diego in September. Hi, Jenny B. Thank you so much for the super chat. How difficult is it to travel with a person who is wheelchair bound? Patricia, we've never done that. We did go on a cruise with Jenny's mom, and she used a scooter. And that wasn't too bad. Like, we had to make some accommodations for the scooter. There's a couple good channels like Cruising with Wheels. They're specifically making videos about cruising with somebody that is mobility challenged in a wheelchair. Check out Cruising with Wheels. They have a good set of videos over there that you can see that. B-Stance, question, how rough were the seas that Wonder was rocking? It was pretty rough. I think it was pretty windy. Again, I've sailed in a typhoon, and I feel like that's a story I should tell on a video. But yeah, it was moving around. Let's see. All right, guys, just a few more minutes to get in your questions. Any last questions? Anything that we didn't get answered? Type question in front of it. Question from Michelle PJ. Ever been on Symphony? Nope. The only Oasis class has been Oasis, Wonder, and Harmony. Sabors or Jamie's Italian? Sabors is just XXS. Sabors is okay. The fresh guacamole was good there, but I would be going Jamie's Italian. Queet Beat has been to Sancho's solo and said it's a good experience. Abby 1 has experienced the sea legs after the cruise lasted for a few days. There you go. Would you ever do an around the world or pole-to-pole cruise? Jonathan, absolutely. If I had the time and the scratch, I would definitely do it. I think the goal for us, world cruise, so we're 51 this year, you know, and you got to save up a lot of money for that. I'm thinking maybe between 55 and 60. I think that would be the perfect time to try to do a world cruise. So that's a long-term big bucket list goal for us. Yes. Can you self-test for all the cruise lines, Tim? I think a lot, but the best thing to do is whatever cruise line you're worried about to go check. But I know I've used the self-test on Royal, Princess, Celebrity, Carnival. I think most. Let's see. Opossum Head. I was going to answer that one, Joe. I've never crop dusted anywhere. I don't even know who came up with the term. That's what I was going to say with a wink. I'm glad Jenny's not here to correct me for that. Let's see. Have you sailed out of Europe? Kind of nervous to see how it goes for Americans. Wonder in June. I've never sailed out of Europe. But yeah, keep watching. I mean, I know a lot of folks go over to Europe and sail, and again, it's of course a tumultuous time, so you're right to keep an eye on it. Question: I'm worried about getting seasick. How much do you feel the ship in Alaska? Lynn, I felt the ship quite a bit in Alaska, going through the Inside Passage. It was pretty rocky. I'm fortunate I don't get seasick, but if you're worried about motion sickness, I would go I hear a lot of people with success going and getting the patches from the doctor. I would do that, but I would take all the things, take the C-bands and the Bow9 and all that. But yeah, there's going to be some movement going there. Keith Merkel, thank you so much for the super chat. Thanks for everything. Love your show. And Jenny, have a dunking on me. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the super chat.
So a chat.
Let's see. Yeah, Madeline's got information about cruising in a wheelchair, so check with Madeline there. Thank you, Madeline, for sharing that information. Would you consider doing an Alaska cruise from Vancouver? Sure. Don tells me that Vancouver is a really beautiful cruise port. I'm a hockey guy. I would love to go. I would like to, well, of course, I don't know when the season ends and all that. I haven't been watching a lot of hockey, but to me, I think that would be a fun thing to go in early, see a hockey game, and then get on a cruise. Let's see. What class is Anthem of the season? I'm not sure what class Anthem is. Question from Melanie. Why do some lines offer kids club for unvaxxed and some don't? Royal does, Carnival does not. I don't know. I mean, again, it's hard to say how they're coming up with their protocols. And yeah, they're not all in step together with what changes when. So that'd probably be a question for them. Matthew, question for a family traveling with kids. Do you think one float rider on Wonder will be sufficient? Does the new kid area make up for it? Matthew, I never even made it back there. I didn't hear anybody complaining about one flow rider, so I don't know. But if flow rider is the more important thing than the little aqua park area, I would go on a ship that's got 2 flow riders. But I mean, a lot of these other ships, the smaller ships, only have 1 flow rider. And but yeah, if flow rider is the big deal, I would probably try to go with the one with more. Philip, thank you so much for the super chat. Question: has there been any update on the pre-cruise testing requirements? Nope, nobody's dropped it except Uncruise in Alaska, and they're a really small cruise line, so that could be the beginning of it. But other than that, that's been it. Thank you so much for the super chat. Woo! Well, all right, guys. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining for the impromptu live stream. I'm going to get out of here. Go check out our friends Parrot DJ on their Sunday Night Live. They're fun to watch, and they will be answering a lot of questions. Also, if you didn't get your question answered, maybe drop it in the comments. I'll do my best to answer some of those questions. Thanks, everybody, for the super chat, all the kind support. Thanks to the Blue Crew for keeping it solid, and thanks, everybody, for hitting the like button. Thanks for the spammers that's got girls to promote. So funny. All right, guys, thanks so much for checking in. My name's Tony, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.